Hey now, what's up everybody? It is a Saturday night. And you know, the best Saturday nights are always accompanied by some Dent Sea Scrolls. Can you believe it? It's been a while. We made it back into the library. And now it's time for many new adventures to happen tonight. Of course, I am joined, as always, well, not always, as always, but most of the time, actually, by the one, the only, the Steve of the Dead here. Let me get his microphone on here. Hang on. Let's see. Let's bring him in. Come on. What's up, Steve? Are you there with me today? Uh-oh. It looks like your mic's not on, so we'll wait for that. Get your mic on, brother. Come on. Maybe hang up and come back in. You know what I'm saying? But it is, oh, there he is. Hello. Now I can hear you. Steve, talk. Steve of the Dead. He can't hear me, it sounds like. What's going on here? Huh? This is not my fault. This is, oh, there he is. Hello, Steve of the Dead. Now you can hear me, right? Hello. What's going on here? This is a studio mishap. I know you're here, though, Steve. I just saw you. There you go. There you are. Now I hear you. Hey, Steve.
Hey, man. How's it going?
Okay, you're back. What's up, my friend? You ready for another night of the Dent Sea Scrolls?
I am ready, yes. Hoping the tech holds out.
Yes, you go. Okay, we're back. Okay, so today, we're going to do a new style thing today. Steve doesn't know. This is all a surprise for Steve. So we're going to go for about an hour or so, and then I'm going to bring in a special guest, all right? A special guest is just to preview him. It's someone you probably don't know from like a name or something, but he is someone that was literally on these forums as they were happening, right? So he knew of DSP before there was a YouTube DSP, okay? So I thought it'd be pretty hype to interview him and to get his takes of what people thought about DSP before there was a YouTube DSP, if you know what I'm saying, Steve.
Yeah, FGC DSP.
Exactly. So that'll be in about an hour, and then we'll see if we have time for some We always have time for some nonsense. I got some Alphaism radio ready for us, and even have a classic clip I thought would be fun to play today. We have played this once already, but with the new health side, Phil, I think we're due for a re-listen of a certain episode. Don't you think, Steve? If you know what I'm saying.
I do, yes. I think I can see where you're heading, yeah.
It's about 20 minutes, and I think we have time for that no matter what happens. Okay, let's get to it. Let's start the night out right, all right? So big ups to Infamous KS, who says, from a fellow Mank, Steve is right, mint, ain't he? Mint means good, right? I know that, Steve.
It does, yeah. Yeah,
mint
means
you're
good.
mint. Big ups, Infamous KS. Okay, so what we're going to start with today is a new interview that I've never seen before. Maybe this is new for you. But this is an interview done in 2006 on a website called ggl.com. All right. And unfortunately, the first page is the only thing that makes it through the Wayback Machine. I checked them all. But the first page is good enough. And then we'll get people's comments on it from the SRK as well. So we'll start here tonight. And this is in 2006. So we are 2 years removed from, obviously, getting our fourth place at EVO, okay? Oh, that looks better. And we are, not really doing YouTube at all at this point, okay? So keep that in mind. Here we go.
So 24.
Exactly. The fighting game community has many tournaments each year, the most prestigious of which are known as the Majors. One of the longest-running majors is the East Coast Championships, ECC. Held annually for over a decade at the 8 on the Break gaming establishment in Dunedin, New Jersey. ECC is the most important tournament on the East Coast and the best talent pool from New York City, and attracts the best talent pool from New York City. This year's ECC was co-organized by a rather controversial figure in the fighting game community. Phil, DSP Burnell. DSP, ego and candor, some might terms it lack of tact. I'm just reading it as it's written here, okay, guys? Have earned him the nickname the King of Hate. After my visit to ECC this year, DSP took some time to give me the details about the event and his reputation in the community, all right? So, First question comes from GGL Steve. That's Steve of the Dead here. DSP, can you tell me about yourself and how you got into Street Fighter? I'll read this whole thing. It's only one page. So, well, I've lived in Connecticut all my life, and I got into Street Fighter at a pretty young age. Back then, I used to live in Bridgeport, which is a pretty rough town. Pretty rough town. But luckily, there was an arcade just a few blocks away from my house. One day, I remember they brought in Street Fighter 2, and there were crowds of people around the game. Just that kind of instant attraction to a game that was the first of its kind. The game attracted not only kids my age, I think I might have been 13, but people in their 20s and 30s. Well, as the years passed, the arcade got pretty much every new fighter out there, including all the Mortal Kombats and Killer Instincts and such. I played everything, but I always felt an inclination to go back to my roots and play the Street Fighter games more than anything else. At that point, though, I had never even thought of going to a competition or traveling for Street Fighter. Great editing on this website. Continuing on.
I was about to say, do you think that's been edited? Because that feels like a very short answer for Phil, given what he asked.
Yeah,
like
that
could have gone on for another 20 minutes.
Assuming this is audio style, they just transcribed. Yeah, maybe they cut it out. It's interesting that you mentioned that since you completed the East Coast Championships to U.S. Street Fighter Major, that's a far cry for somebody who never even thought of going into competition. Could you shed some light on the history of ECC and how you came to co-organize it this year? Oh, here's the long answer. Oh, God. Sure. Well, first, I guess I should explain how I ended up getting into the competitive Street Fighter scene. During the mid-1990s, I met another kid at the local scene whose name was T. Carter. This guy was a prodigy at games. He could play for a few weeks and dissect a game, find out who the top tiers were, and pretty much dominate anybody in Connecticut. A lot of the more casual gamers just gave up and stopped trying to beat him. But instead, I just kept coming back. Eventually, T and I became extremely close friends. As cheesy as it sounds, we were rivals. He was like Ryu, while I was his Ken. Okay. Well, not the first time we heard that, by the way. T started traveling tournaments with a friend of mine, and he actually started placing. I think it was one of the first Street Fighter Alpha 3 tournaments ever held in the Midwest. T went and ended up winning it. And then getting top 5 in other tournaments, he would always come back and tell me about how great it was and that I should start traveling. At that point, I was still just a kid, had pretty much no money, so it was out of the question, but I always wanted to. Fast forward to a few years later, the year 2000. That would be when Philip is 18 years old. The big game on the East Coast, and the game was Marvel... Okay, fast forward a few years later, the year 2000. The big game on the East Coast at the time was Marvel vs. Capcom 1, and T was one of the best players in that game. We kept holding local tournaments in Connecticut, and eventually some notable players like Josh Wigfall from NYC came and started to beat us pretty badly. This motivated me to think about starting to travel and see what else was out there outside of the CT-only gaming scene. Well, finally, in 2000, we were planning on motivating a huge group of gamers from Connecticut to attend the East Coast Championships, which would be my first out-of-state major. But then, something tragic happened. A few months before, T. Carter was murdered in a drive-by shooting in a horrible part of Bridgeport. It hit the community in CT pretty bad. And at that time, a lot of players decided to quit because they felt like the player who had the best chance to ever do anything and represent Connecticut was gone for good. I can confirm that part is true. At least there was 2 people that said this, okay? That said, hey, T. Carter's gone. It's not a good feeling. We're not going to play anymore, okay? That's all I can say about that.
Yeah, but I feel like that's probably more to do with like them being, having a lot of memories with T and playing games, and then they're going back to playing games. It just doesn't feel the same because he's not here. Not because they're going, well, the best hope of Bridgeport has gone.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's the great black hope of Connecticut is dead. Now we can't do this anymore. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I think they were just like, oh, fuck, this dude got killed, and that's not a good feeling anymore. But anyways, I think you're right about that. It's not about who else thought the one with the best Connecticut from the best potential from Connecticut is now dead. So there it is. Okay, whatever.
So SD 1593 survivor guilt.
Yeah, So for me, the loss was devastating, but I used it in a different way. I promised to myself that I wasn't going to let CT die. Oh, I got to hit this. I promised to myself that I was not going to let CT die. and that I will make it my personal agenda to go out of state and finally do something someday. Okay, it's too loud. T couldn't represent my state anymore, but I was more than able to. T had always said he thought I was the one in... Oh, God.
Oh, God.
T had always said he thought I was the one in CT who had the most potential, and I really took that to heart. So finally in 2000, I went to ECC for the first time. I experienced this totally different atmosphere. Here were people, gamers. This sounds so much like a politician. There were people there, gamers from all across the country, mixing together, not only to game, but to hang out and have a good time. It was probably one of the best experiences of my life, and it really opened me up to the competitive gaming scene.
God, like, do you remember the question here was like, how did you get involved with organising this major tournament?
Yeah. And then we got all this shit outside of that. Were you going to answer the question, or
We've had a fucking pre-stream.
ECC itself is a staple of the fighting game community that dates back to the early 90s. It has always been held at 8 on the Break Arcade in Dunellen, New Jersey. Originally, the organizer was a man named Todd Dwyer, and he held the torch through most of the 1990s until Phil Long Jet Fee Nguyen took it over in 2000. Last year, Phi announced that he was going to retire from organizing ECC because his personal life was starting to get in the way. Well, I put my head together. Well, I put my head together. Okay, I'll read the rest. Well, I put my head together along with Josh Wigfall. Yes, that same NYC player that came to CT and kicked my butt in Marvel's Capcom 1 5 years earlier. And we decided we would carry the torch this year, so to speak. Okay.
Like that's the key identifying feature about Josh Wigfall. Everybody looks at him and thinks, hey, you know, the guy that kicked DSP's butt in Marvel vs. Capcom 1 like in 2000.
That's him.
That's the guy, yeah.
I put my head together. All right, I put my head together. All right, almost done. We're almost at the bottom of the page.
Maybe he means he's regrouping. You know, he's not like processing the loss of T, and he's like, right, I've got to get my head together. The
next question was, when I showed up to ECC 11, it seemed like a skeleton crew, which was a shock given the amount of people that competed over the weekend. This guy's just totally blowing DSP here. Oh, it seemed like a skeleton crew, which was a shock. Anyways, how large was EC this year, and who finished top 3 in each event? Above all, would you consider the event a success this year? And this is the final answer. Well, the truth about ECC is that since its inception, it pretty much has been a skeleton crew. It's always just a small handful of gamers who want to keep the competitive fighting game scene alive on the East Coast. We get very little backing or financing from many companies. Capcom, the maker of the Street Fighter line of games, does not support the competitive community, so we're pretty much forced to get together and do things ourselves. This year, ECC had about 150 unique players. I say that because some players played multiple games, but overall, about 150 people registered. There were a lot of people that were just to watch. A lot of people there just to watch as well. Pretty impressive that we were able to. Pretty impressive. He's talking about himself, guys. Pretty impressive that we were able to fit that many people into the break. As for the people who placed, the major story here is that Justin Walk from NYC won every single Capcom event. That means he took first place in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Capcom vs. Zen at SNK 2, Third Strike, and Super Turbo. That's something that's unprecedented, and to my knowledge, it's only been done a few times by some of the older school West Coast players like Alex Valle. Previously, Justin had been the MVC2 world champion for several years, but he has become bored with that game and ended up crossing over into others. I guess the results are obvious, although some people really did give him a hard run for his money. Nestor from Massachusetts gave him a really good fight in CVS2. NKI almost beat him in Super Turbo, and Sanford Kelly went to the final game with him in NVC2. So, unfortunately, there's no one of these pages. And probably not unfortunately, because you see it's kind of whatever. There would be some gems in there, but whatever. But
yeah, it's a loss to us as like archaeologists.
Yes. But we can go to the thread about this. Okay, so there is a thread made. Someone posted this to the thread, and we can hear what they talk. So one unfortunate thing is they definitely talked about the cannons here, because as you can see, it says, I didn't like his comments about the cannons and Evo. So you know what that means. He was talking about the cannons as he always does. If DSP doesn't like what the cannons are doing, he can just say fuck the cannons and do it his way on his own. But he did say he was doing that, but yet
that was Impact, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're going to get some Impact today, too, so don't worry about that. We get some Impact talk. Nakata Lock says, historical stuff is always interesting. I'm sure Phil's opinions on the cannons is skewed, but reading about it was insightful. Props to GGL for the interview, and I look forward to future pieces. This person is giving support, saying DSP is mad boss on this. Much respect. So this person believes the story there. All right. Next, he says, fun read, but I still like the cannons for everything they have done. The fighting game community is safe in their hands. This is in 2006, and 19 years later, well, I would say like the Cannon brothers are the only people keeping the fighting game community alive. I think he was right on this one, wouldn't you say? In 2006, this Junio, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, the fighting game community is basically built off what they've done, especially through like rollback netcode.
Yep. So
yeah,
it's easy to understand that it's easy to see for normal people that they were doing good, you know. FM Jaguar, a legend we've seen many times, says Steve goes, and Steve is the guy that asked the questions, and said Steve goes and unlocks the Phoenix of Hate. Great job, Steve. Couldn't you wait until like the off season? So there we go. This is DSP says I love you too to FM Jaguar. They always go back and forth. So there we go.
Next up, that one. That was like a good way of handling that comment.
I want to get to definitely a good read, very insightful, whatever. I did want to go to great interview. Hey, I like the interview. DSP is usually spot on about this stuff. I think he's kind of off base about the cannons taking 5 years to get major sponsorship. I mean, no one else has pulled it off. Yeah, they were the first ones to get major sponsorship. So bitching about it taking 5 years, like we can insinuate here from this post from Renegade, is kind of insane. But all right, cool, man. Besides last year, go ahead.
Sort of basically building up the FGC from like just the grassroots of the community.
Exactly.
So to get major sponsorships within 5 years, pretty good actually.
Yeah, and you see they continue building off that as Evo's still fucking going this day with a fuck ton of sponsorships and, you know, anyways. Besides, last year they tried the MLG thing. Year before, that was the first time he had G4 coverage, as lame as that was. I look forward to GGL at my event today. One person says, great interview, Phil. I'm not sure how people will understand what an asset you are to the fighting game community, even if you don't agree with everything that goes on in it. Okay, there we go. A little support. And I wanted to show this because Jay Chensor, and this is James Chen, as of, you know, pretty big in the fighting game community. If you follow the fighting game community, you probably heard of James Chen. And he says, no hate intended here, Phil, but I find the article fairly surprising. In the two issues you discussed, Tekken DR and Guilty Gear Slash, you revealed a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that forced your hand into unfavorable decisions and justified why the choices were made. And largely, you painted yourself as the victim in a lot of these scenarios. No. You know, that's a first. That's a first. It's with that in mind that I wish you would tone down the cries of foul play to the cannons and the Evo staff in general. I mean, if you asked the opinion of the community, as you always keep telling us to do, wouldn't that have made Tekken DR a given? But you chose to go regular Tekken, despite that being against the community, and in the end, Tekken was dropped altogether. So he's talking about the tournament that DSP put on. Tekken DR was what the community wanted. DSP instead did Tekken, but yet I guess no enough people signed up, and it was dropped altogether because everyone that was playing Tekken wanted Tekken DR, I guess. You know what I mean? I'm just insinuating. It's good that you continue to question Evo's staff and keep us on our toes, but you have to understand that there are a whole lot of behind-the-scenes circumstances that we aren't going public with that forces our hand into some decisions as well for the past few years. I much prefer the King of Hype over the King of Hate. Feel free to question our decisions, but to continually attack the staff as ruining the community, or that the community is in the wrong hands because of the EVO staff and such has grown far too overbearing. Now that you've ran ECC, I can only imagine you now what it's like. I can only imagine you know what it's like being staff and the difficulties coming from it. Having gone through your Tekken DR and Guilty Gear / dramas, and that, well, Guilty Gear, we know he said it was a very, let's say, if you play that way, you have a certain sexual preference, if you know what I'm saying. Trying to say it very politically correct. Tekken DR, Guilty Gear / dramas. I would think it would allow you to be a bit more sympathetic to our causes. Anyhow, that's all. In the meantime, though, keep up the fight on the East Coast over there. And that is it for there. And someone says a joke, Phil is really the king of love. He was all lovey-dovey when he first saw Potachu in the flesh. Trying to give me hugs and cop a feel. Why you got to be so lovely, DSP?
Check the name of the person that said that as well.
Robust. But I think that is just a happy coincidence, okay? And there we go. That was the last thing. That was the last mention of that. I mean, he's got a mix of support there. He obviously did have some support. Yeah. But the Rio boys that came out, they knew, like, why you shitting on the cannons, right, man? Why you got to shit on the cannons? Mm-hmm. There's no need for that. Big ups to Petchy, who says, glad some of my favorite content is back. Big ups, Petchy. Happy to bring another one to you here. And hope, the frequency's got to slow down, but we can keep doing this for a while, right? Because it's just, the panning for gold is getting more difficult, right? Because now I was searching for shit for this episode, and like, I really think we covered this one before. And I look, because there are some that are very similar, right, guys? I'm like, all right, let me search the transcripts. I didn't say that. Okay, yeah, this is a new one, but it's kind of similar, right? But I promise there's some hype new stuff today. Joe Mack says...
Everything can be a measurement. You know?
Exactly. Joe Mack in the house says, Delusions of Grandeur. Hell yeah. Mm-hmm. And Yonahal says, so he put his head together? Well, that explains why it's oddly shaped. His mom probably had to walk him through it, and he still got it wrong. Big up, Yonahal. Okay, next up on the docket is a short one here, but it's a question about Mario Kart DS at EVO, which I believe did actually happen. Okay, I did think that happened. They brought that 1 year, I think, and it didn't last. But this is DSP's take on the matter. And I won't hit the button yet because I'm kind of saving for an epic one for the button. But he says, I actually like the idea of adding new games to EVO, including non-fighting, as long as it doesn't interfere with the number of fighting games that will be there. But I think Mario Kart DS is a bad choice. The game is beyond broken beyond broken. You just snake all day and hope somebody gets a random item. It's pretty dumb, to be honest. It's fun in casual play, which is obviously what the game was designed for. How come he gets it here? What happened? You know what I mean?
This involves friends. That's
what
the thing.
Happened?
It involves multiple players, whereas at home, playing Mario Kart World, there's no one else to play with.
Oh, it's like...
He's going to play with other people, so...
20 years later, he wouldn't get it. But anyway, okay. But it's hideously bad for tournament play. What I think you guys should do is have a Tetris DS tournament at EVO. Okay? Tetris DS is not broken in any way. In fact, the most broken element items can be actually be turned off if you so desire. You can even have matches of up to 10 people at a time, simultaneously. People can't complain it's broken because everyone gets the same pieces in the same order. Finally, a game where everyone is perfectly balanced, has a chance, and relies 100% on skill. Again, keeping in mind you're turning items off. I vote Tetris DS for the win. We're not done yet. One other thing. I've said it before and I've said it again. I didn't read that before. I've said it before and I've said it again. Hell yeah. Pretty cool.
I've got to check now. In case that needs to get into the list.
I've said it before and I've said it again. The reason EVO is so big and gets bigger every year is not necessarily because you're doing the right thing. Listen to this. This is more Cannon Brothers slander. It's not because you're doing the right thing, but just because the venue gets bigger, gets a better location, adds games, and to be quite frank, you throw money around more than anybody else because you have it. I missed the part where that's my problem, is what I imagine Tom Cannon would say. What the fuck is that? What? Okay. Anyways, so they're doing the exact same shit you should do. Throwing their own money into tournaments, by the way. They threw their own money into Evo, and yeah, they got sponsorships, but for a long time, it was just their own fucking money. And you know they were losing it. But okay, anyways. This is the first year you've actually secured a real sponsor. Is that a negative? Is that a negative? So you have the ability to expand as you're planning. But don't think that just because the Cannon brothers have thrown their money around makes Evo better than any other tournament.
Oh my God.
What? Most people would argue that Texas Showdown, MWC Final Round, ECC, that's his tournament he put on this very same year, by the way, that I already just showed you. Or another regional tournament is actually a better one than Evo. Don't you think?
They're regional, though. That's the difference in it. That's why Evo's bigger. It's everyone.
So wild. Don't think that just because your tournament is more successful than every other one, that your tournament is more successful than every other one. Okay? Remember that.
Don't think that just because you're getting bigger every year that you're doing the right thing. Just because you're doing the right thing don't necessarily mean you're doing the right thing.
So cut it. Cut that out. All right? God, what the fuck, man? All right, so here we go. Last paragraph. Don't you think that if I wrote programs for Microsoft and I had money like you do, I would be spending thousands upon thousands every year to get a huge fighting game only event going to rival Evo? Well, what? Okay. That's like saying to, I'll say it to it's like saying to a professional sports player, don't you think that I worked out as hard as you, had the same talent as you, and had the same skills as you, I would be in the NFL or Premier League? Don't you think that, Ronaldo? Dumb fuck?
Yeah, he's just saying, don't you think that basically if I did everything you did, I'd be able to do what you've done? If I, trained and eaten healthily and done steroids or whatever and practiced, in my back garden and joined a wrestling school and learned how to wrestle, then I could have been a wrestler. Yeah.
This is insane, Cope, man. Insane. Yeah. Don't you think if I had all the things that you've worked for, I would do the same thing you did? What? That's like, I wrote programs for Microsoft. Yeah, you know how you get to write program? You know how you get into writing programs for Microsoft? By being a great fucking programmer. You know what I'm saying? And you think that comes easy?
Learn how to do it.
Yeah, that takes time. And how do you get money? By writing programs for Microsoft. Another thing they earned. But anyways, okay. Anyway, we're not he makes us, Cannon Brothers are clearly legends in their field, and everyone understands that. But that's what hurts DSP the most, is because they earned what they got, they worked hard at what they got, and they're still doing okay by pretty much everybody in the FGC 20 years later. But DSP has a problem with them.
I'm reminded of, do you remember when Jaha was on the show and he said, the Cannons, they had a projector that wouldn't work because they didn't have the right codec for it and they couldn't get online. So they just coded one right there.
Yes,
they just opened up a program and just coded. That's how, genius level they are. And you get that by fucking working.
Yes.
You get that by, studying and learning.
That's not, that's insane. They didn't have internet, guys. So what do they have to do? That's so wild when they said, Jaha told us that. Okay, the projector, just to tell it again, the projector did not have the correct drivers for the computer, but the internet had zero, the location had zero internet. So they had to go in fucking, WordPad and wrote the drivers in Word to get it to work. Imagine the skills required, right? At least the knowledge of everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's where they're at, right? That's where they're at. And you don't get that from your parents handing that down to you. You got to learn it. You know what I mean? So anyways, the final thing is, you bet your ass I would, right? Unfortunately, life hasn't. Oh my God, guys.
Dude, just keep
going.
Oh
my God.
Just power through it. I'm begging you.
Unfortunately, life hasn't been as good to me as it has to you. I buy 3 PS2s for fucking ECC, and I get fired. He's not wrong. He's right about that one, boys. Jesus Christ. The cope. This is one of the most cope-filled posts we've ever shown. Oh my God, the cope. God damn it, you Cannon Brothers. You're so fucking awesome. Don't you think if I could be as awesome as you, I would? What the hell? All right, I'm screenshotting this one. That's a Twitter right there. All right, big ups. Okay, we got more. Inkblot responds.
Mm-hmm.
And says this, so he gets DSP gets this ignored for most people. Inkblot was fine. Here we go. Inkblot here explains. This is one of the canons, by the way. I'm not sure which one actually. Mm-hmm. If anyone knows, let me know. But that's one of the canons, and he says, I love the first sentence. So Inkblot starts with, I'll read it. I'll read Darkside Phil's quote to it to get the best effect. Tom. Okay, Tom. Big ups, Tom. Yeah. Okay, so don't you think that if I wrote programs for Microsoft and I had money like you do, I would be spending thousands upon thousands every year to get a huge fighting game only event going to rival Evo? You bet your ass I would. Inkblot then says, then you're a moron. Evo and SRK have been cash neutral year over year since B4. I like fighting games, but not that much. Come on, get real. Evo grows at the rate that the community will support it through forum subscriptions and DVD sales and hopefully external sponsors in the future. Evo is growing because we have a plan to grow it. I'll give you a little credit and assume you're just talking big. It's easy to say
That's a fair assumption.
yeah. Don't do that. It's easy to say you'd spend thousands of dollars, thousands per year for what? 6 years now? Don't make me laugh. So there we go. Yeah. It's very easy. And let me tell you, another thing that's easy to spend is other people's money and hypothetical money. It's so easy, my friends. Easy. Oh, man, if I had $1 billion, there'd be no more world hunger, dude. Oh, my God, it'd be easy. I give $1 billion to poor people. I don't give a shit. I don't need $1 billion. It's so easy, right? But it's not, when you really are giving up the money and you see the numbers coming out of your bank account, that's a different deal. But it's really easy to say. Anyways, moving on. There's one more post. DSP does respond to this, and he says the following. And this is his last post from this one. He says, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. Under no circumstances do I mean you drop thousands and then get nothing back at all. What I'm saying is you have thousands to begin with to get a larger venue. Get supplies, get the names out there, get the footage, get the DVDs made, etc. Without that initial capital, you cannot start a business, so to speak. And although so far Evo has supposedly not made a dime, I'm sure that is where you're going with this. What's the problem with that? Okay, I have no problem to say. Is there a problem with that? I have no problem with that. But my point is that you have the money to throw around to begin with. And because of that, more people come, you sell DVDs, and you are able to make all the money back. No, I'm not stupid. You're just making assumptions. Okay.
This is a really narcissistic thing. Right, when you if you see someone doing like as well as you or better than you in life, then you assume that they've got some unfair advantage. They've got like access to some sort of money. Maybe they've got like rich parents or whatever. They've got something that will make their journey through life easier. But you, the narcissist, Darkside Phil, have had to struggle through life. You've had to fight for everything. You've earned everything that you've got. You know, it's a really narcissistic thing to assume that everybody else is doing better than you. They must have had some way of cheating or gaming the system, or it's not fair.
Yep,
and rather than just like going, well, why isn't my life like that?
But imagine like the level you have to be to say like, yeah, well, if I could code for Microsoft, don't you think I'd be doing that too? Like, that's not like something that's something they clearly work to get. You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows the position they had at Microsoft? But don't imagine it's easy. It's not easy to get that job, man. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
all the work that they've had to have put in, from like learning coding to getting into that field to getting into a job with some company that's somewhat related to Microsoft, and working your way in and trying to find like, oh, there's a vacancy at Microsoft, great, going for that, you know, and getting through that process, and then getting into the company, and then working your way up to the position you're in. All that stuff that they've had to do, and Phil can only see it in terms of, well, you've had easy access to Microsoft. You know someone on the inside. You know, you've had some unfair advantage.
That's like, and that kind of job is not like some bullshit. You know, what was it? A customer service job that kind of your dad can get you, and you can kind of fake your way through it. You know, working at Microsoft, coding things for Microsoft, especially before the AI boom we have now, you got to learn how to do it. They know you're faking it pretty quick. You know what I mean? But anyway,
this is still the era where he make websites on Notepad. So, you know, like, that's the level of like advanced coding they've got to have at this time. Yeah. Where they got.
Shout outs to Bucktooth here. Bucktooth is someone that DSP has played in the last year or so in some Street Fighter. Said, don't front like you're not going to be hella hype when Daigo and Justin are racing each other on the big screen. Good comment. There was no more back and forth between this, I don't think. Let me just make sure. And I did check once, but yeah, there's no more back and forth. That was kind of the end of it for DSP's involvement. Big ups to Petting It Sin, though. What a king. We are ready for you here. Let's see, hopefully get a good one. We're ready for the nanas, honestly. It's been too long since we got the nanas. And where are the nanas? Come on. Ready, set. There it is. Go. Come on, nanas. Yes. There they are.
I'm good at sound. I can't even watch
it. Okay. Big ups, Petnison. Thank you for that energy. We needed it. Woodnock said, Canon self-felted. DSP does spend thousands a year on WWE champions. Uh-huh. True. He does. He does.
You can see like Tom Cannon now going, if I had the ability to spend thousands of years on WWE champions, do you think I could get 4th place?
Oh, God. That would be the best response.
Top 10.
That would be the best response ever. Don't you think I would be top of the leaderboards down for the rafters? I mean, DSP. Sorry about that. Okay, next one. We have a little bit of a documentary thing. They're talking about the Inside Evolution. This is an Inside Evo, which is a documentary, which I would love to see. Has anyone seen that? I didn't even check if it's on YouTube, which I guess I should have checked. That'd be a fun watch, maybe. But anyways, we'll check it later. It says Inside Evolution documentary premiere in New York somewhere. And the cast involves a lot of people. DSP is not in the cast, okay? But there's Tony Cannon, Wigfall. You see all the names. Justin Wong, Eddie Lee, Serlin, David Serlin. We've noticed these people, a lot of people here, okay? So we're going to start in at 23 here. Bada boom.
Oh, Josh Wigfall. He's the guy who beat DSP's ass at Marvel vs. Capcom 2 5 years ago.
That guy. How could you not remember him?
Yeah, he's in it. Yeah.
Big ups Doomer Ziggy says DSP didn't go that year. So there you go. He didn't go that. There we go. So 23. Some of us got to see it the night before Evo started. Funny as hell is all I can say, and it shows the true aspects of gamers and their shit talking. Then DSP says, no. Yet I'm not in it. Incomplete. Of course, not being part of the in crowd, I guess that's why I'm not anywhere to be found.
Oh,
God. You weren't there, bitch. I wasn't anywhere to be found.
I can't believe I've not been like to a Megadeth concert in some other country because I'm not there.
Yeah, DVD. Yeah. I thought Iron Maiden played London or something. A few months ago? Yeah. Why wasn't it in that DVD? I'm a huge fan.
You weren't there.
Incomplete. So there we go. Darkside. It is Darkside Phil confirmed right there, as you can see, and it says it's not about the in crowd. If you're around and I feel you're gonna give me some good shit, I'll fox with I'll put you in it, let's say. I wish I had a camera at this year's Evo. Your East fucking Coast while giving the bird statement was priceless. Shit like that is what I look for. That's the type of shit heads want to see. But unfortunately, DSP wasn't there. So this person made a good point and said, I didn't make it. That guy made a Team Hate documentary too. Ooh, are those online, Doomer? I know you know. I know you would know. And this one I think is DSP, but I cannot confirm it, so I have to put the disclaimer there. And where is it? 30, right here. It says, are you selling a DVD or it's going to be free? It should be free in my opinion. As soon as somebody gets it, they're going to torrent the hell out of it anyway. I don't know if that's DSP, but I kind of guessed it. Oh, Doomer, send me the links if you don't mind.
Is torrenting around this time, so...
Okay, so big ups. Someone sent me this, and that's the last DSP in this whole thread, though. But this is Inside Evolution 2004. I think it was it 2004? I think it was. Let me check. What was it? Evo log. What was the year? Yeah. 2000. So it would be this was from November 2005, though. Okay, that's it. Big ups. Here we go. This is 47 minutes. That could be a fun one. Let me turn off my Dent Sea view. Here we go. It's square aspect ratio. Hold on.
And if I get lucky, top 5.
Top 10 if you like a top 5?
Yeah.
What's your name?
I'm Henry Cent. That's right.
So Henry, how are you going to do this weekend, or how do you think you're going to do this?
Nope. I tried to search DSP. The transcripts, but there is none. They weren't even talking about him.
That's right.
Now, I remember seeing a while back a documentary called Bang the Machine, where basically you were featured.
Stop swinging.
What do you got to say for all the East Coast players out here, man? Are they in danger of being out here in the West Coast, or what?
They need to stop swinging from Justin's nuts and start getting their own skills and represent their own name. You know what I'm saying? You look at West Coast and there's a couple heads. There's Troy, there's all these people. They're just sitting on the sidelines. That's what it is. East Coast is like. It's like a one-man basketball game, and all the homies are sitting there watching and shit. Yeah,
It's a one-man basketball game. It's a one-man basketball game.
Playing shit, but no one's stepping up to the court. It's just Justin doing all the dunking and shit.
Eddie Lee's coming back, so
Eddie Lee's trying to make a climb. I guess he had a couple year-long cries. I guess he got the courage to come back and fight now. So.
Save that for the game.
Anyways, there we go. We can't watch it all now, but that could be something interesting. But there you go. That is the DVD there. Big Up Slatterman says, did you see his Unhinged daily rap yesterday? We'll watch that. Don't worry. We'll definitely watch that at some point in the weekend. Maybe on That Being Said tomorrow. Which I can spoil has Sir Ludacris as a part of it. So big ups. We got our monthly
British
Ludacris
invasion continues.
Our Ludacris monthly visit is going to be tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard.
Visitation.
yeah. We got to watch them once a month.
We got him this weekend.
Okay. Next up. Let's do two more, and then we'll definitely get our guests in here. This one is this. So I want to show this one because. This was DSP says Visant, okay, Visant. Visant posted a long as shit recap of his time at Evo, okay?
Bernellian.
More than Bernellian. This is like you can see how far I'm scrolling. Literally the longest post I've ever seen on this website. But anyway, that's the point
It's
of
not
it.
by Phil.
No, it's not by. Yeah, it's not by Phil. So if you want to watch it, if you want to read it, go ahead. But he does mention DSP here, and I want to show this part. Let me get my Dent Sea view here. And it says, ST Finals had a really high entertainment quotient, even if the games weren't that good. And he's talking about, this is the Evo that DSP got fourth in, by the way. Okay? That's why I thought it was interesting. But it had DSP and it had a Halo booing. First of all, whatever. I'm not reading all that. DSP and Watson getting into a verbal battle over the microphone was quality as well. DSP with the raised middle fingers and yelling East fucking Coast on stage. Too good. Think what you want about Phil, but he backed up everything he said. The top American finisher, including being entertaining. Good show, Phil. Good show, Phil. Even if he did disappear and not play me for money, which I would have won, I still have to give him props. He did everything he said he would at Evo. As for the rest of the tournament, blah. Okay? Now, why do I show this one? Because someone else made a post and says, if you wrote an Evo log, you are gay. Okay, you are gay. And this is the exact same month that Visant wrote that. And literally, he was talking positive about DSP, honestly, which I thought was interesting. But okay, then, so here we go. And then it says, truer words have never been spoken, so this guy agrees. Yeah, Phil, nobody cares. That's why Visant's log has over 2,800 viewers. Visant's log was good, however. Yep. And most people already think Visant's just a little gay or has fun acting like it. Someone says, get bent jerkface to DSP. Someone says, for the most part, I gotta agree. I really don't read logs unless I know the person. They bore me, like reality TV. The reason for Visant's popularity on the forums must predate my career here, because I don't understand how he has such a big following or why his insanely long log has so many views. But I'm still glad people make logs, because sometimes there is interesting stuff in the stories. Next up. The personal stuff about people's crews and stuff doesn't do anything for me, really, for obvious reasons. But I like the logs that cover the games and talk about the matches and whatnot. Does that make me gay? So be it then. Hi, I really don't play games anymore, blah, 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 and that was it. No one cares. Then someone says the last two are these, last three. And they say, Visant's log is also 10 times better if you were there for some of the moments, like Isaac's room. Then someone says, no one cares. Then what's the thread doing here? Exactly, Scamp. Yep. If you don't care, then why are you making this thread, bitch? No one cares about what you think about the Evo logs. I fucking love reading every single one. Okay? And I think that's a fair thing. Well, there's a reason I put this in here, obviously. Let's check out DSP's log.
I was about to say, it's a bit ironic coming from like someone who writes logs so long that we have like theme music to warn people that these are long.
Would you like to read DSP's log?
Not really, no.
Okay, so here we go. This is from Super Street Fighter at the break. This is DSP's log. Pendleton asks, what's the deal with System 1 username alt? When someone is banned... it turns into this username, basically. And then the only way we know it's really him is when people quote it. So like this, as of the spoiler, but Triforce is going to respond. And as you can see here, it's written by Darkside Phil. Okay, so that's how we know it is him. All right. So anyways, here is DSP's log that he thinks is very bad and you should not do. Maryland came down to represent, including David, Fernell, whatever, who's there. I beat Eric in ST by kind of a fluke. I mess around first game and lose, then we go back and forth till it's 2-1 Eric. He thinks he's won, but he forgot to read the rules that it's best of 5, not 3. Then I proceed to beat him 2 straight. Sorry, Eric, you're pretty good, but you got beaten by the rules. Heh heh. Infinite wins the triple threat tournament. Both Sean and I have some issues dashing and super jumping on the cabinet, but to be honest, I'm used to it on the breaks Frankenstein-like MVC2 marquee. Sean didn't take losing. Sean didn't take losing his 25 too well though, and left immediately after the match. Oh, and Sean and I played just for the hell of it to see if one of us could beat the other 5 straight for 15. Didn't happen. So then the Empire team, as you see, Team DSP was 4th. Team DSP got last place. So Team DSP was the last place in this event. And here we go. Now the rest is coping. Funny story. I planned on entering the team tournament myself. That is, pay for 3 entries and have an entire team composed of me. Okay. After losing the triple threat, which I still have issues with, I wanted to prove myself in something. But Fee didn't allow it to prevent drama and controversy. I guess it makes sense, but come on now. You know when you mention the name DSP, you're talking about drama and controversy in some form. So anyway, the makeshift team of me, Pungza, and Jermaine was formed. Maybe the real name of the team should have been Team Leftovers, because we all needed teammates and were free agents. Another time DSP couldn't find a friend. Great. We just can't seem to find any friends. It always happens. Anyways, So anyway, the makeshift blah, blah, blah. Jermaine beat a considerable amount of players. I ran through Josh Wong's team all by myself. Then Pungza runs through the team Philly all by himself in an amazing upset victory. On top of this, I went on to OCV with Josh Wigfall, another upset, but then both Mike and I lost to Sanford in good games. Oh, of course, these were good games, of course. It wasn't a blowout, guys. I just like to say... Yeah. Uh-huh. I just like to say this is one of the best tourneys I've been to in a while, beating the past few break tourneys and CTF events. Lots of fun, lots of people you don't see every day, and lots of comp, upsets, and entertaining matches. 2 things have come out of this. By the way, fuck people that write logs, okay? That you suck. You write logs. Yep. Two things have come out of this. One I will announce now, and another later. The first, I challenge Josh Wigfall to a grudge match. First to 10 wins for $50. Just like the one with Infinite a month ago. Just like the one with Infinite a month ago. I have lost to this guy in countless tournaments by pixels of health.
Or pixels, my friend. Pixels.
Or by stupid flukes of missed moves, and I've had my fill. I proved to myself that I could beat this guy tonight. And rather than hear people say it was only one game, it doesn't mean anything, I'd rather challenge Josh to a set to prove that I'm good enough and not just a fluke. I mean, no disrespect to Josh. He knows that I respect him as a player, and I recognize his skill. But Josh was on Team East Coast last year at Evolution, ranked in the top 5 on this coast. I've never done well in tournaments in 2 out of 3, but I believe that I can beat anyone in a set if I want it enough. And I work. Oh my god, dude. I'll start it again. I can beat anyone in a set if I want it enough, and I work hard enough to overcome the odds. Hell, I like it when the odds are stacked in my favor. What? You mean the opposite of that? Oh my, you mean the opposite. Dumb fuck. Don't you mean you want the odds stacked against you? Okay. What?
I feel like I'm listening to like Ash Ketchum in an episode of Pokemon before he goes into a gym.
Oh yeah, I gotta get Pokemon music. Trust me, Brock, if we put our heads together and I wanted more than them, we could definitely overtake her. Okay, Ash, are you sure? Well, hell, I like it when the odds are stacked in my favor, Brock. Okay. Anyways, so I'm challenging Josh to play me for money so that 1, I know he'll be there and accept, and 2, I can prove to myself and to everyone else, once and for all, that I'm good enough to be considered a top player. Even if I don't win, I hope to put up enough of a fight to prove myself to you guys. Oh, God. Why are you so worried about what other people think, man? This is weird. Oh, like so openly saying this? I hope I can put up enough of a fight to prove myself to you guys. All right, man.
It mattered to him at this point in his life.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this was the community he wanted to be part of, and like he was building his identity around this. This sort of like public image, like management mattered.
He is 22 at this point, guys. 22.
He's still basically a child, like
22.
Well, I mean,
22 saying that to your friend. I hope I can put up enough of a fight to prove myself to you guys. Who's saying that? Oh man. Anyways, after all, it's all about going up on the big screen and representing your entire coast at the biggest event of the year. If I have to go through every top player on the East Coast to prove that I'm good enough to be up there, then so be it. I'm sick of people standing in my way and anything. So if you're in the way, you better step up to the challenge or step out of the way before you get stomped on. What the fuck?
It's the...
Oh my god.
Bro, it's like, you know, when you go to the shops, you see like laugh, love, and all that. It's that. It's like, you know, you lead, follow, or get out of the way. You know.
So if you're in the way, you better step up to the challenge or step out of the way. Because any way you slice it, with your 33% and my 66%, there's a 120% chance of you getting stomped on.
The numbers spell disaster for you at Evo.
At Evo. All right, so we do get a response from Triforce, and he says, how can you hate a guy like this? Just flip of the tongue there, I promise you. How can you hate a guy like this? Lone rebel until they die. That wasn't a sarcastic remark either. I'm actually giving him a compliment. Until then. There we go. So, of course, Triforce would enjoy this. You know what I'm saying? He's kind of the guy that would enjoy this. And there was one more response. One more. Okay, so you can see the length here, right? You see the length. Someone responds with Z's.
Oh, that's a good response under it.
DSP is good in Marvel's Capcom 2. He's for real. But I own him in ST. No perfect matches and an X-Men versus Street Fighter. All right. Someone says, also, I want to give DSP a shout out for all the hate he gets. I thought he was a real humble and cool guy. Fuck all the haters. In 2004, someone says, fuck all the haters. In 2004.
Oh, but he's always like that, though. Like, that's that person saying, you know, he runs his mouth up on the forums, but in person, he's actually, like, quite all right. He's quite nice. You know, he's very quiet, humble bloke. It's that. It's just like everybody criticizing him for that. That's what that dude's doing there.
There was Ziggy in the house saying LZJ is a DSP friend, a lazy J. Interesting. So that's why he kind of stuck up for him. Yeah, DSP is a cool guy. Definitely. So there we go. That was that one. That one is this diatribe here is definitely worth a Twitter. I mean, no disrespect to Josh Winful. Anyway, and the second announcement was going to come soon. We don't know. Okay, let's do one more, and then we'll bring in our special guest here. This one's of the shorter side, and this one is. Let me make sure I got my right notes here.
Wasn't a venerable Ryu, but, you know, lead, follow, and get out of the way. Made it worth it.
So this one is the new Boston thread. So there's threads for different areas, right? Where it's just like,
Boston,
you know.
What's he doing in the fucking Boston
exactly. Good question. But it's just about, like, you know, areas. So here we go. So this is posted by Darkside Phil. So where is it actually? I got to find that one. Hold on a second here. It says... Hopefully we can just find it from the quotes. Minor threat, actually. Okay, well, it's too far back, so I'll just read the quote from there. Okay, let's go back to where I wanted to start. Okay, here it is. He says, DSP says the following. DSP said to somebody, actually, I beat you in the last CT tournament you were in, eliminated you, in fact. I'll play you for any amount of money, Steve. Just bet it or shut it. So then Pride says the following. I'll play you. Phil, one match tourney is bullshit and you know it. Don't forget the controllers were shitty and you know it. And also, your tournament organizer can't set up brackets for shit. From guaranteed third to next to last place, yep, good directing on CT's job. Okay? And then DSP responds with, didn't you say on IRC that you're afraid to play me? That my hate is too powerful? Alrighty then, excuse boy. Then someone says, for someone whose website is based largely on sarcasm, he's talking about top haters, you obviously don't have much of an eye for it, do you? That's a shame. I'd back Steve over you in Marvel in a second. Then someone says, it's a bet. 100. First to whatever, I will take your money, son. This guy then responds and says, I don't personally speak for Steve, so I don't know if he'll play, but I'll play you 50 first to 10 if you want to come to GT. I'm sure I can scrounge up at least another person who'd be willing to bet you for 20. Potential 70 is at least worth your trip to Massachusetts, right? Okay. And then the next person says, in my defense, I beat Alex once. We doubled the bet, but whatever. I've seen what DSP can do, and I think I can beat him. That's all. Plus, it makes the weekly GT drudgery a little more interesting. Okay. And then someone responds and he says, Pride is the person that was talking to DSP in the beginning, right? They said, yo, Pride, beat the homo thug's ass. So that's talking about DSP. The homo thug is how he described DSP. Thought that was funny. And next we have one more talking about it. And it says, I can't tell if this is DSP or not. This is 62, so I don't know. It doesn't sound like it. I don't think he calls people corny. But he says, if you corny motherfuckers want to put down money, then I'm down for it. And that is it. Someone says, no more wasted time. Do I have any takers? That's not DSP. And DSP wasn't really heard from this. This thread is 4,000 posts, and I searched about 100 of them down, and there was no more talk about this. So Philip ran away or got bored or whatever. Didn't find enough friends in this thread and left.
Someone should ask him, like, hey, Phil, you ever been in, like, Massachusetts?
Yeah, see if he did. See if he went.
There, see if it sparked a memory. We can find out that way.
All right. So next up, let's see. Okay, so I want to get our special guest in here before we go to our next one. So I just invited him in. Let's give him a second to join here. Big ups to everybody for joining so far. Hope you enjoyed your stay so far. Misery Merchant in the house says, this series is proof Phil is broken from birth. Yes, I think that's very true. That's the best part of this theory. This really is like, you think maybe it started, when he became a YouTuber, was this big famous YouTuber or something. But it's really not. He's always been a prick in every situation possible. Yeah. Okay. And also, he's had no friends,
The thing that's always stuck with me is just like how early in Phil's life, like the same narcissistic traits that we see today have formed and sort of crystallized. There's just been like no change in the years since.
Yep. It's and as you can see even here, guys, he's never had never been someone to have a group. You know what I mean? Like never, even in a fighting game situation like here, we should be team leftovers because we were the people that didn't have a team. Like that's a fighting game tournament, assuming you'd have some friends, right? I mean, you go to all these tournaments, you still can't find a friend. He's lucky he found Rambo because that was the one like nice dude that would like put up with his shit. You know what I mean? And without Rambo, there's no Howard, there's no OJ. It's all Rambo that started that, They're all Rambo people that stuck around, because maybe they saw they could, well, I know about Howard, but I think Howard might have thought there's some benefit to keeping DSP around. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bill Brasky says he talks like he's living in Dragon Ball Z. Yep, or WWE, both, Elite Gaming Terror Task Force, Tactical Cyber Hitman says Pokemon would have ended in the first episode if Phil was the protagonist. He's Pikachu-less. He's franchise-less. Big ups.
Got there late, and like Professor Oak was like, I've got no more Pokemon to give you. Sorry. Everyone's took one.
Huh? Mine got knocked out. Yeah.
Don't know how it was on. Sorry.
So petty. NW News says Phil's the anti-human in every possible way, and that makes that's a good way to say it, my friend. Big ups, everybody.
And he's so sick.
Oh shit. Hold on. I was an accidental Ashton. We have a second guest to add right now. And watch this. He is here, and we should be able to hear him. Talby, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Talby. Big ups for joining tonight, my friend. You're a legend. Steve, can you hear him too, right?
I can, yes.
Okay, sweet. Okay. Big up. So, Talby, you're a legend for many reasons, but I'd like to know, just tell us a little about how you got into this whole fighting game nonsense before you talk about DSP, of course.
Yeah, sure. I grew up in the middle of nowhere, a town of like 750 people in the Midwest. And I got really into fighting games when I was like 10, 11 years old. I'm 37 too, so that kind of gives you an idea of like timeline.
Okay.
Compared to Phil.
Okay.
And so when I got into fighters, you start looking into stuff, and what led me to, that led me to SRK. And I would read SRK all the time because like SRK was like my window in to all the stuff happening on like East Coast, West Coast, where I was, there wasn't really a lot of arcades. Like the closest one was an hour away, and a lot of those were closing down. And even the ones that existed, there wasn't like a crazy fighting game scene,
Yeah.
So I would go on SRK and read the threads, and I'd post occasionally, but not a ton. I was mostly more interested in reading like what the people involved in tournaments were into and stuff. So that's how I got into all this crap.
Okay,
and stumbled across the guy.
So what year would you say you kind of that was when you kind of found your way into SRK?
Probably like 04, 05, somewhere in there.
Okay, so definitely around the time DSP was doing his shit in there.
Yeah, like prime. A lot of the stuff that you go over is like prime Phil on SRK for sure.
Okay, so what was first before you ask about the past, have you seen the Dent Sea Scrolls before? Did anything ring a bell, or is it all like new to you because it's been so long? Like I know these forums aren't a big deal. Individual threads are not a big deal really, but does anything remind you of those days, or you remember individual things?
Some of the stuff, like I'd be lying if I said I remember like everything that was said and things like that. Yeah. But like, I do remember him popping his head into some of these threads, like related, especially to like tournament results and things like that, because I was reading a lot of that kind of stuff. But the overall thing that I get from watching Dent Sea Scrolls is what it reminds me of the most is like he was just the guy that would just come and shit up the thread, right? So if you were on there and you're talking about, I don't know, for the sake of argument, like, oh boy, Sagat's heavy kick, it sure is a good button. Phil would drop in and be like, no, it's not a good button, snort. And if you think it's good, you're a scrub, and it's online tactics that only losers and scrub use. And then now the thread's about him, at least for the next
exactly
10 posts or so.
It just reminded me of one where he talks about the sprites. Do you remember he's measuring the sprites on a screen, and like the person who's actually done like the breakdowns of it and gone through it all, he's going, no, they're not bigger, they don't look taller because it's in a different resolution. It feels like take a ruler and measure. He's mental.
As a nerd for like that kind of shit, that's one of my favorite ones that you've ever done, because like that is like so quintessentially Phil, like somebody that actually knows what they're talking about, like talking about it, and him going, no, actually, I know more than you. I'm the king. Fuck you.
Yeah. I want to know too, like, okay, because Philip loves, like, you're not East Coast or West Coast, let's say, right?
No.
Okay, so like, what was this East versus West Coast thing a real thing? Because DSP likes to say it is, and some people seem to have that thought. But was that overblown for just? Well, how was that for you? Do you think in those times?
The way that I kind of thought of it going in was that it seemed like it was a thing, but it was a thing in like a very like tongue-in-cheek way.
Okay.
Like I didn't feel like most people took it super like as seriously as he did. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, when people generally like if you're just a better the best Street Fighter players were who were liked. Or like respected, right? Like people like Justin, because Justin was amazing, right? People like Daigo, because Daigo was amazing. Like it doesn't really matter where they're from necessarily.
Yeah.
But yeah, Phil making this whole East Coast thing part of his like lame little wrestling persona was like, sure, there'd be some beef there, but not like he would do it. I think he just took it a step too far.
Yeah.
Everyone
else would be joking and he'd be serious.
Yeah.
Did you ever manage to make your way to a live tournament, Sir Talby?
Yeah, I went to some tournaments up in the Chicago area because I'm from the Midwest. I never was at one that Phil attended.
Okay.
So I was never around the guy. I've always wanted to go to Evo, and I'd like to someday. Just never made my way to it.
Okay. Now, I think I know your answer, but I still want to get it from your perspective. It seems everyone thinks the Cannon Brothers are cool, except for one person that we know. And I know there was a few... we've had some negative comments about Cannons. I'm not saying they're perfect people, but, they have a lot of support, especially on the website that they fucking made themselves. So what's your memory of how... did you have any memory of, like, Philip going against the Cannon Brothers, or what was the overall thoughts of the Cannon Brothers back then?
Yeah, I mean, you have to... take with a grain of salt that it is their website, right? So there is going to be a degree of like people, but I don't think it's like between, say, like when Street Fighter like Third Strike came out in like 2000-ish, and between then and when Street Fighter 4 came out was really kind of a dead era for fighting games, at least on like a large scale. Like, yes, there were games, there was CVS2, there was Tekken, all this stuff. I'm not trying to say there were no games, but like it wasn't as big. as it was before, or then like in, I think you guys have gone over ones where he talks about like 09ers,
Yeah.
Like that time frame, that 9 years or so, like the canons loved fighting games and they did everything in their power to keep them alive and going. So generally speaking, people were, even if they didn't agree with every decision they made or everything they did, they were very grateful for the work that they put in to try to like foster the community.
Yeah. And like, when people put effort into shit, you give them the benefit of the doubt too sometimes, right? You see they're trying their best. Maybe they made some mistakes, but they're trying their fucking best, It's like, it's wild.
Yeah, and I could see it in the chat there. Like the fighting games were basically dead before Street Fighter 4. Like Mortal Kombat was nowhere to be seen. Like Tekken was super niche. Third Strike is maybe one of my favorite games of all time, but it was kind of tough for like the average person. Yeah, and it wasn't received well, and it's not like Street Fighter 2, which is very easy to like pick up and play. So for your larger, broader audience, it just wasn't received as well. And the fighting game community was super, super, super niche, and the canons did a lot to keep it going. And a big part of that is rollback netcode, a thing that our guy really, really hates.
Yeah. What was your thoughts when that came out? Right.
When rollback came out, like when it started to become a thing, you could like go online and download the ROMs for it and like mess around with. It was crazy because like I think the entire reason that it was done was because like I think it was Hyper Fighting came out for Xbox, and they were just like, this sucks, like we need to do this better. And everybody was like, it's crazy that these people that aren't involved in like the game industry created a better netcode than people like in the game industry. And it makes sense because, to go back to my earlier point, there wasn't like a financial incentive really to invest in really good netcode for fighting games, because fighting games were basically dead.
Yeah, that's insane.
Well, he does say that as well, didn't he? He said before that like they designed it only so they could sell it to like Microsoft and Sony and Capcom and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I want to know, like, how about there's another character we sometimes talk about on the show that was back then in the day. There's quite a few characters. Was Jaha someone you knew?
I didn't know Jaha like personally, obviously.
Okay, but he would say he's a character on the forums. Okay,
yes,
okay.
He's definitely a character on the forums.
And how about because Philip does claim a lot of people were very, very overly supportive of a certain Sir Wong back in the day. And was that how it was back then? It was because he's the best, though, right? So did he have a lot of, let's say, ball sucking going on?
I mean, yeah, but he was really good. So, of course, people were going to feel that way about him. It's perfectly natural.
Yeah, that's what I say. Of course. Husky in the house, and Husky checking in right now. Big ups, Husky. All right, so let's get to a few threads here. I want to get to a thread here now that we have Talby with us here as well. So maybe you have some to add, or maybe not, but who knows. So this one starts with Blaze asks him. So this is Blaze and Flow, and he says why SRK died, okay, and how it was reborn, okay. So he says, it's kind of cringe. Now for over a year, the boards have been filled with nothing but utter bullshit, and the occasional Blaze and Flow thread, and Blaze asks him, the only person ever posted anything constructive anymore is Sanford, okay? So anyways, it's kind of whatever. But DSP has to enter himself into this, and he does right here. And he says, this one goes out to Blaze and Flow. Question, why are you so gay? Why do you make 47 threads a day on SRK and then ask why it's flooded with bullshit? More importantly, why do you start threads like East Coast team and ECC grudge matches and this one and talk like you're somebody important? When was the last time you were good at anything or did anything constructive for the Street Fighter community? Oh, wait, I can answer this myself because you're a loser with no life. And there we go, have the famous "Nuff said." Infinite responds, says, I can answer this. It's because he's a mad cool guy. He can do that because he is the right. Most of the threads are kids from GameFAQs with dumb questions. Does for entertainment. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's go to 10 here. I'm not going to read that whole thing. Then someone says, Phil, you're the best. I can't compete with you. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, bitch. Stop wasting my time with your shitty logic just because you were molested as a child.
just do not fuck about at this point.
I mean,
It's a different time.
Yeah, now does this mean that this doesn't mean anything, guys? This is let's ask you, Talby. This is just something you might throw around as a good banter, right?
Yeah, this is just Phil's being an asshole and somebody's just making fun of him.
Typical
for it.
banter.
Pretty standard.
Okay.
This is pretty standard behavior of the SRK forums.
Okay, I didn't do it, but if you keep talking shit, I'm going to do something in the back door at ECC. That's a backdoor fun. So again, shut the fuck.
Standard operating procedure. For the
standard. Yeah. So shut the fuck up because I really don't think anyone likes you at all, and he's right about that point, at least. But let's go. Let's go to this one. It says, "Whoa, this is a serious thread. Not hold on, not this. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Wow, this is a serious thread. Not one of my other ones. You scrubs, please keep the gayness out of here. That definitely includes you, Phil. Keep the gayness out of here." And again, it's a different time, guys. Disclaimer, obviously. Okay, here we go. There is DSP enters the thread again. It says, "In response to Infinite, the vids weren't put up because they weren't mine. Neither were the ones from CTF. I have an analog camcorder that's a bitch to encode on a computer, so I rarely use it." By the way, this is 2004. The first time it was Ryan who quickly encoded the vids and sent them to me. Then I sent it to FM Jaguar and had them hosted and linked on Top Haters. I really did nothing to produce the first batch of videos. Go ahead, Steve.
FM Jaguar was his web host.
Yeah,
he's like, hey, store these on your server. I just need the hyperlink for them for me.
And Jaguar destroys him in every thread.
You've got them.
FM Jaguar destroys him and everything, But anyways, the vids from the break triple threat were Kong's. Kong didn't have a computer. Blah blah blah. What they didn't work. What's strange is that the interviews came out fine. Anything away from a game screen looks good, but all the game footage looks shitty as hell. It would have been pretty pointless for me to encode interviews that relate to a grudge match with no footage, wouldn't it? Nah, it would be cool. But now to Blazing Flow. I'll play you at ECC for any amount of money. You name it and I'll match it. You were such a guaranteed win that I'm not even going to front. Wait.
That's fucking dope.
I'm not even going to front. If you play me, you're done. Now shut the fuck up, scrub. All right. Next up says, okay, that's a fair answer. I'll take it. Says Infinite, okay? Mm-hmm. Says Infinite. Now, next up, we have a celebrity entering, and it says the following. Genga says, "Ahaha, you tell him. If you thought Jaha was big, then you don't know what you got yourself into." And he's responding to what Phil said, okay? So, someone's bigger than Jaha, apparently. And then Phil comes in and says, sorry, I'm not afraid of this nerd. I've seen him IRL, and I was less than impressed. The fact that he wants to do something in the butt at ECC leads me to believe some other things I'd rather not think about. I don't know what that means, but okay. His threads aren't funny anymore. The first one or two were funny, but that was it. He's just trying to spam his way into Street Fighter Stardom or something. Okay, one interview a week or two, that's fine, but he's just gotten out of hand. This is what happens when idiots are allowed to do whatever they want. This is what happens? What's the quote? This is what happens when you give them everything they want. Okay, anyways.
From the Death Space 2.
Yeah, 6 million. What's next? Blaze asks M. Okay, I'm going to read this. What's next? Blaze asks M. Why does my penis have this red rash all over it? STD help thread. Saber has I don't know. Saber has warned him to cut the shit, but he doesn't listen. It's a matter of time before he gets banned. I don't care. I just don't like to see his shit spammed all over the place. It hurts my eyes, frankly. Justin is just looking for attention, but he's going to end up getting the wrong kind if he keeps it up. Okay.
Do you remember the Snitchinator? Do you remember
God.
Squealed to the mods? There we are. It's a matter of time before he gets banned. As in, it's a matter of time before I go to the mods and say Blazing Flow shitting up the East Coast Red. Please do something about it, sir.
Ready? Wow, General of the Hate Army. I'm looking for attention. You're a fag and you know it. That was, again, different time disclaimer. And then someone responds, Justin's not the one.
Well, they edited the quote.
Yeah, he edited the quote to just say bullshit, which was a great tool at your disposal, right, Talby? You could do this with the quotes.
Yes, it was definitely a way to dunk on somebody that you didn't like.
That's awesome. So we get the bullshit and says, Justin's not the one getting pissed off because top players don't give a fuck about him. Every time good players are mentioned, your vagina quivers and you cry because you're never mentioned.
Oh, he did. Do you remember the top 10 upcoming players?
Yeah.
Hey,
from tonight, I don't do anything on accident. Remember the post about the DVD guys? Why wasn't I mentioned? Where was I?
Well, and just to chime in a little bit here, he was known for playing Super Turbo. That game came out in 1994. It is 2004 at this point. People have moved the fuck on. They've moved the fuck on. They're playing CVS 2. They're playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2. They're, Tekken, whatever the fuck.
Yep.
The way I always viewed him was just like he was some random fucking guy from the ST days that would pop up every so often. Like he wasn't like anybody that anybody thought of as mattering or thinking they were cool.
Yeah, I think that's one thing we got to, because I didn't think this. If you don't know go back to this shit, you don't know. But yeah, like Street Fighter 2 is like way old when DSP got his Evo finish. But that doesn't mean people didn't care about it. But it was far from the biggest game at Evo, right? At that time?
Yeah, the way that people treated ST was because and no disrespect to ST, it's a fucking awesome game, one of the best of all time. Yeah. But the way that you kind of treated it was like at tournaments, a lot of the OGs would show up and play, your Vias and the like. Yeah. And it'd be kind of a way to see those dudes. But for the most part, those guys had either moved on into any other things in their life, or they've moved up into other games. They're playing Third Strike, they're playing CVS 2, whatever. Yeah. And DSP never took the time to take that step and to move up.
Trust me, and he bitches about it the whole way. Why did people care about real games like ST2? All that shit. And yeah, that's true. Excalibur says Super Turbo helped build the current fighting games. Yeah, but how it goes. Every game gets old.
It's not a disrespect thing. It's just that people are always into the new shit and the new hotness. Like a few weeks ago, back when Evo was coming out, he was bitching about how Evo's dying because these Street Fighter 6's numbers are way the fuck down than they were. And it's like, well, the game's 2 years old at this point. Of course it's going to have a smaller entrant pool than it did 2 years ago. So now take that to a game that's 10 years old at that time, and a game that's now 35 fucking years old. You know what I mean? Things have moved on, buddy. And and it's funny how much he was living in the past when he was in his 20s already.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we're already living in our past, and this is 20 years ago, which is pretty impressive. So next up, this person responds says that post is fucking real, and he's talking about this one right here, by the way. So big ups to that one, and one more that says this, and this is the final one from this thread. Wow, I try to make a thread that's actually serious and for the people, and then the gayness takes over. And then here's the final one. Oh, and if you think this game doesn't progress because the same 4 characters are used, you're hella gay or your name is Phil. Big ups to that person there. Okay, so that was the last. Philip ran away from there, and there was no more Philip in this thread at all. Okay. So before we get to there's one more thread we got to go to tonight, and I want to listen to the Jaha audio as well. But there's one new audio I want to share, and unfortunately, the rest of the episode is not good. But it has one part that is magical. Okay, so this is from Alphaism Radio. 2007, and DSP is not a part of this episode, but he gets mentioned. Okay, so what you're going to hear is it's a low part in the show, and kind of no one's talking. This was kind of a hangout. Oh, did you listen to Alphaism Radio, Talby, at all?
Yeah, from time to time.
Okay, and was it there wasn't a lot of people watching at the time, right? There was 50 people. That's a great night of viewership, right?
Yeah, it wasn't super hype or anything like that. And frankly, for me, I didn't listen to it a ton because, as you kind of alluded to, a lot of the episodes are just them kind of hanging out. They're very pointless. There's not really topics,
Yes.
So it wasn't something I really found myself listening to a lot unless they had somebody on that was particularly cool.
Yeah, okay. You never called in or anything then?
Oh God, no.
Okay, yeah, that's like more of a ordeal at that time too. But anyway, okay, so we're gonna
mean,
go
where I
in.
lived, the internet was shit. I'm not calling in. You know.
Yeah. So this is there's a random kind of dead spot in the show, and they're kind of just chilling, and someone makes a noise, okay? And forget about the noise. It's the comment after the noise that is the funny part, okay? So here we go.
I just noticed.
Holy fucking
What? You just nut, dude?
Camera's on.
Yeah, so here we go. That's the sound. Here's the comment.
What? You saw Phil's face? You saw DSP's face? What?
Got him. Ryder, DSP is not in this episode. He's not on the call. That was out of nowhere. A DSP message.
What? You saw Phil's face? You saw DSP's face? What?
And there it was. Unfortunately, they don't even talk about it after. There's no more. But that was an amazing find. Digging
It's
for
incredible.
this. Yeah, go ahead.
But this fucking guy's been around for 20 years, and just like how fun it is to make fun of him. Like
Yeah,
just
you know?
like out of nothing. It's why like these Phil in the Wild segments you guys do on.
Yeah.
That being said, it's just like people just love to take random cracks at this fucking guy.
Yeah, because it's so satisfying because he's earned it. You know what I mean? It's not like it's like someone that earns it. You know what I mean? That's what makes it fun. You know what I mean?
The thing about Phil is he would be a really tragic character if he wasn't him, right? Because
Yes,
he's
yes.
so desperately looking for acceptance and like looking for somebody to love him and to care about him and to like care about what he thinks and what he has to say. But he's an asshole and no one cares.
Exactly. You know, that's the problem. Like that's the thing he can't avoid. Okay. So last thread of the day. This is a beefy one. So we're gonna be here for a bit. And this one is from official MWC Day 1 Omaha Northeast Family Fun Center. You ready? So this is normal procedure, right, Talby? You put up these results, posts, and this is like the hype shit to read, though, right? You're reading these, right, Talby, at this time?
Oh yeah, these were the things that were really, really interesting to see because they would kind of set like you'd read all the shit talking, right?
Yeah.
Of people talking back and forth, and like I'll kick your ass at this tournament, and then you'd read the tournament results, and you'd see, you know, what happened, how it shook out.
So it's kind of like the payoff, you know, I would imagine,
sure.
you know. All right, so this is the oldest thread of the night, and this is from 2003, okay? So DSP, of course, will be 21 years old when this happens, okay? So this is, of course, they post the results or whatever, and you can see some names you'll recognize for sure. Jason Wilson, Ricky Ortiz, Jason Wilson, Ricky Ortiz out there again. Looks like there's like 3 people that won everything. Jason Apoc Gonzalez, same people we know. So DSP enters into this 52 posts later, and he has a lot to say. So first up, we have there were a lot of reasons people. So it was apparently the attendance wasn't as much as they hoped. Okay, that's the only thing you need to know is the attendance wasn't as much as they hoped. Remember, DSP was not at this thing, no intention of ever going to Omaha, but yet DSP has to enter into this thread because that's what he does, right, Talby? He enters himself into threads.
Always.
Yeah,
He just
so
loves
here
to shut him up, make him about him.
So here he does exactly that in a very big way here. So he says, there were a lot of reasons people didn't come to this tournament. First and foremost, you moved it from an area close to Chicago, a major city, and a place where it's been for years, and moved it to some hole-in-the-wall Nebraska location because the tech was on vacation last year. Nebraska kept bitching about third strike. Bad idea. Use your head, Jason. Glad I didn't come. Wilson talked crazy shit about how at NWC, the ST comp is so intense. Cole would never win it. Looks at STC results. LOL. If I was there, I'm sure I'd have to play Spence twice for some stupid reason anyway and get pieced out like usual. Reminder, he never intended on going and did not go, but he's doing this hypothetical about what would have happened. Him losing, in fact. Anyways, 27 players for CVS2 must have been intense. Guilty Gear 1 with the worst character in the game. 4 real Marvel players actually show up for Marvel. If I were you, I'd rename this tournament Nebraska Cornhusker Championships so as to not leave this stigma on the real MWC next year. Okay? So he's bitching at the tournament organizer about making
There's
the
part
tournament.
of this, just I do get it a little bit because
Okay,
to
please.
move it from Chicago to Nebraska to Omaha
Is dumb.
kind of is a choice.
Yes,
that's
it's dumb. It's definitely
However, this is classic DSP. You can't just come in and say something reasonable like, oh man, it looks like this didn't do as well because it moved from a big city to a smaller city or something like that. You have to come in and talk shit about the players, talk shit about the organizers. Like,
yes.
He's just an asshole. And again, he wants that attention. Now the thread is focused on him instead of the results and the stuff that people care about. And I think he kind of gets off on it. I think that's why he is the way he is to this day. Like he says otherwise, but he likes this kind of negative attention. He likes to leech off of it, as somebody said in chat.
God, yeah. So I think, well, Steve, see, like narcissists will enjoy people talking about them, positive or negative. It doesn't matter, right? It's like, I just want people talking about me. Right, Steve? Oh, Steve.
Yeah.
Steve.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, it's attention. Any attention is good intention.
Yeah, just anything. Just talk about me. That's all I care about. Come on. Mm-hmm. So then this person, the organizer, responds immediately afterwards and say there were a lot of reasons people didn't come to this tournament. First and foremost, no, that's DSP again. Blah 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 blah. Sorry. This one is so old that the quote doesn't quite work. So this is what DSP said, but then the response is here, and it says, "No offense, DSP, but you don't know what you're talking about. I am not running MWC out of my own pocket like I have for the past few years. Sorry about that. My mistake for putting my heart and soul in it for 7 years, and all I get is crap talked." Then, again, we're responding to DSP's quote here. Cole lost at MWC last time he came, and he won B5 a month later, so use your head. Also, keep in mind that Cole has major problems versus any character not Sagat, Ryu, and Ken, which is what I've been saying forever because he has not practiced much in ages. And look what happened at him at SBO qualifiers. I rest my case. He says, remember Philip said rename the tournament Cornhusker Championships or whatever. And it says, as for these other comments, I could care less what you think. You cannot even place top 10 at Street Super Turbo at ECC, and you said you were better than Ricky Ortiz and blah, blah, blah. Don't come starting crap in here about MWC when you have never run a major. I like Chicago, but damned if I will let some guy at Nickel City in San Jose talk crap about me after how much money these tournaments have made for him, and he gets nothing after all this. As for next year, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. And one more quick comment about DSP. Super Turbo turning next year with $500 on top of the $10 entry fees, blah, blah, blah. You'll come and everyone else will for prizes like that. So say what you will, but it's not heading back to Chicago. Okay? Blah, 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 blah. I'm going to read one more. And I'm sorry, Capcom, but Mike is completely different, right? Sorry, what happened? So Darkside, don't open your mouth again. We all know where you stand in this community, and bad-mouthing my tournament because of Chicago and having the audacity to tell me to use my head and spend my own cash to go to Chicago and put it with the same crap again is the worst thing you could have said. And for that, well, I could care less if you ever go to my tourneys again. So please, do me a favor and don't show up to my tourneys or speak to me again, okay? Thanks. I don't need input from people that have no idea what the fuck they are talking about.
Well, there you go. Like in the comment before, he just laid out that he had some pretty strong and perfectly reasonable reasons to move it to Nebraska, and he wants to build it going forward. It's that simple. Yep. Mm-hmm. But Phil has to come at everything like an asshole, and this is the end result.
We all know where you stand in this community. Like,
yeah,
that's
painful. Yeah, 2003, man. That's painful.
They know that early.
Well, everybody knew, and like the thing is like when I was telling ALT on like the call-in show, like I fell out of like paying attention to FGC stuff for a long time, and I stumbled back into Phil because of the GOAT MGS3, this is how you don't play, right? And my initial thought was like, oh, that fucking guy is still doing things. Uh-huh. And then like I clicked and watched it and I was like, oh, and he's still this massive asshole. It's been 10 fucking years and this guy is still like the world's biggest asshole. And then I started paying attention to him and and like really paying attention to him, and now he's here, and now I'm here, right?
Yeah. It's like it's
crazy.
It's wild how he's just
It's
always
like, and it's
been
like
this
the
way.
thing he always talks about how like there was times where, you know, the days of Milk and Honey where, you know, everybody loved him. There was never a time where anybody loved him ever. Like even during like the early, like when he was popping off on YouTube and getting good views, that was just because there was nobody else to watch. Like once better options came along, like no one fucking cared, you know.
Well, I would ask about that too. So once he starts posting videos on those channels on YouTube, like everyone's watching him, right? Because like just so hungry, right? It's not about even him, and people bitched about it being him too, right? Like you don't want to watch his.
Well, that was the thing. It's like I watched some of those videos, those early ones, because, you know, again, people like me that weren't super connected to these scenes or weren't good enough players to like play in these high levels. You were just interested in it almost like as a fan, right?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, one of the only people, I will give him some credit for this, that had the hustle to make these videos was DSP. But unfortunately, we had to like listen to DSP to you know, look at those footage, you know?
Yeah. It's wild. Like for some reason, like the one thing DSP did correct was like go to these events and record them. Well, that was a hard thing to do. It's not easy as it is now, you know, like, you know, it's just a process that a lot of people wouldn't put up with, you know?
Yeah, camera swaying. Like even back then, the sway was just out of fucking control.
Well, it was his nickname at an earlier job, wasn't it? He said they called him Sway.
They called him Sway.
Yeah, he was already swaying. Okay, so next up you saw that epic takedown, and someone says, "Good job, Mark." Well, DSP decides to respond, and he says, "Since you ran away on IRC before we could finish our convo like men, I have to finish here."
On IRC.
IRC, yeah.
Yeah, like men on IRC, finish our beef.
Go from one text-based form of communication to another, like men.
Were you ever in the IRC stuff? Did you ever get in that nonsense? Like, how did that work? Was it one big group that everyone just knew that IRC chat rooms were to be, or how did that work?
I didn't really get into that stuff as much because, like, that was really for more people that were like in the scene. And I was, again, kind of like floating above it and watching it. So that wasn't really my thing as much at all.
Okay, here we go. So nobody told you to have it in Chicago again and spend your own money. You just assumed that yourself because you have hard feelings with this guy back in Chicago. I wouldn't have it there again, either if he robbed me, but you can't expect to have lots of players come to a supposed major that's freshly moved to some out-of-the-way location unless there is a major draw. Now, all of a sudden, you claim you have massive pots next year? Then it's only common sense that players will show up. But there was absolutely no draw this year, so exactly like I said would happen, next to nobody went. So like I said, use your head. Make it really attractive, huge pots, or else don't wonder or complain about low turnout. And then he says, you seem to make it a point to trash me on IRC every time you see me for the past 8 months because I talk shit about being good at ST. Who cares? LOL. Why do you care so much, Jason? My shit talking earned me $250 at ECC against a very one-sided bet, so my plan worked perfectly.
Oh, it's the first King Snake.
Yeah.
First King Snake.
I don't play ST. I never claimed that.
Podcast.
So obviously, I'm not going to beat anyone who has practiced for any considerate amount of time. Obviously, Ricky did practice for ECC and he beat me. Big fucking deal. The only person talking about this is you. Now, you went on after ECC to insult the tournament and say that ST was a joke? That Henry, Sen, Cole, Seth, and others would have not placed at MWC? You insulted the players as well as the staff that went through trouble of getting it together, basically saying the tourney means nothing and is a waste of time because MWC is so much better for ST. Now, all of a sudden, you message me on IRC and say, oh, well, I didn't mean this year. Okay, buddy. Sounds to me like you ate your own words and you're feeling pretty stupid about it right now. You said it yourself. You don't even play ST and you won the fucking thing. What does that say about the level of comp there was? At least Cole actively plays ST. Don't attempt to lecture me and say that my criticism of NWC is wrong. Nothing was done to make this tournament attractive to players besides slapping the NWC name on it. And your ST tourney was more of a joke than ECC's. Next time you want to trash talk on IRC, speak more carefully and try not to make blanket statements that insult multiple parties, then get pissed off when people criticize your tournament because it sucked for turnout. By the way, I only didn't hit the button, by the way, because there's a longer one coming up, if you can believe it.
Oh, God, right, okay.
That's why I didn't hit the button.
Jesus Christ.
By the way, if you don't want me in any of your tourneys, then you can have it your way. I never said you ran a bad tournament, and I bet that MWC was run very well this year. But if you want to start banning people for slamming you for the stupid things you said online, go right ahead. I guess it's hard when people make you eat your own words, huh? I know this from experience. I know this from experience, but of course I never ban people from anything I'm involved in organizing in Connecticut because it's lame and a bitch move. You'd better start filing... What the fuck? You better start filling out an encyclopedia with names because I'm sure as hell not the only guy who said that MWC had shitty turnout this year because you moved it to Nebraska. Okay. Whew, okay, that was an epic post. Go ahead.
I mean, my first thought is like, again, this is 2003. Super Turbo is 9 years old at this time. This guy should be fucking grateful that somebody's taking time out of their life to like put together an ST tournament. And he's talking about like, he's talking about the lack of turnout for ST. Like arcades were dying. Like by this time, you know, in the West, arcades were dying like all over the fucking place. So the fact that this guy took his time to like put this together is something that you should be grateful for. And instead Phil has to come and like run this guy down. It's crazy.
Because this guy is getting a little too much support for him. He doesn't like other people get, you know, are seen as positives for the community except him. So then we get this says Punisher, by the way. And Punisher is DSP because that was as his name at one point with the, you know, you've seen that before, Steve. You know what I'm talking about. The Punisher name.
Yeah, Punish 3.
Yeah, so. Also, Punisher. I never said you were banned. I am not banning anyone from my tourneys. I said if you don't like my tournaments, don't show up. Simple as that. That's exactly what they said, by the way. No need for your negativity, especially since you were not even there and have not been to Omaha. That's the key point, guys. No need for your blah, blah, blah. This arcade is 50 times the arcade that was in Chicago and was professionally organized and put together by the staff at FFC. All 7 years combined, I could barely even get a poster up at SJG for them running a tournament. How sad is that? As for me signing off IRC, I had Team Third Strike tourneys to run. Can't stay on and argue. Low turnout, that's fine. More for us to learn for next year to make it bigger and better. All right? I don't play, and I know APOC and Nelson don't play it either. It's fun in tournaments for all of us. It was more the fun factor here. We got to practice all the games. Everyone had a good time, and of course, next year will be bigger and better. Okay? Now,
he also mentioned in there about the part about Cole like not actively playing the game, and that kind of was what I was talking about earlier. Is that most people that played ST in tournaments it was like this side thing to be like, all right, we're gonna play some ST now. And then they would go and play Third Strike or whatever as their actual serious game.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. So, like, no one's really taking it seriously, but Philip's saying, like, oh, even that guy won? What the fuck?
People wanted to win. Like, don't get me wrong. But a lot of times, you know, most people had moved on to having another game be their kind of their primary game.
CVS2 or something,
yeah. CVS2, Third Strike, MVC, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have a Triforce site again, and he says, good work, Ricky and Flash. Although you guys were the only ones that got to go, you guys did represent. At least this gave us time to evaluate how things are going for the Empire. Now our final destination is EVO. This is going to be a rough road. In fact, rough is an understatement. See you guys at EVO. Empire Arcadia is coming with all we got. Until then. So I wanted to show this Triforce because he does talk like DSP as well. Was he also seen as a joke, Talby, during this time? Or what? What did people think of Triforce?
Maybe not to the same degree, but yeah, overall. Definitely another guy that was like a big blowhard that would like shit threads up.
He pretends it's really like anime or something. But there you go.
Yeah.
DSP responds to Triforce here, and says, Triforce, as usual, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. We're control. And then someone talked about the controls being a little bit off, and then DSP again has to join in. Were controls really that bad? If this is the case, I am very surprised because Wilson usually has this shit together, and brackets fucked up as well. Brackets at MWC 2002 were really good. Jason, please reply to this situation, because after all that shit you just talked, if MWC was really this much of a shitfest, then I don't see how anyone would come next year, despite the pots. What's the use of us hanging out a 2,000 pot if the top players lose because of shit controls and have to play each other first, second round? That's called gambling, not competitive Street Fighter play. What the fuck? I hope this stuff is rectified fast, because MWC is now really getting a bad rap. Bad rep, excuse me. Getting a bad rep. The tech went on vacation? Shades of Chicago, anyone? Cole, you are the man as usual. Jason talks a lot of shit about a lot of people, but he always seems to be on Watson's shirt's nuts. I don't know, man. He still finds it hard to accept that you're the best SD player in the USA, period. But Wilson won't show up at EVO because there's some classic, I'm not going to say that one, classic gaming tourney that weekend every year, or some similar excuse. I suggest we put off this ST grudge match until Impact next year. You know what Impact is, right, guys? Or MWC 2004, if that's all he'll show up to, so that we can both be there to whoop his butt on his oh-so-precious Switch sticks. All the Switches in the world and Xbox Live lag won't save you now, son. Okay. So we move on positively here. Dream TR says, okay, a couple of things. I was not involved in that tournament, so that was not my fault. As for brackets, DSP, the only brackets fucked up were Guilty Gear, and I was not involved in that, so hate on John at FFC, not me. As for SD cabinets, one of them was weird, other was fine, but yes, sticks were a problem for everyone. They were being replaced a lot, okay? So someone did respond to that, okay? Next. Now, Cole, I was not talking crap about you. You bolted in about how Nelson and APOC must have been drunk to let me take an ST tourney. Now, DSP is trying to say I am on Shirts Watching's nuts? Please, I don't care about any of this crap. And DSP just wants attention because he's not really good at any game, apparently.
Yes, that's true.
Now, as for you, Cole, I've not said anything that was not true. It all depends on the brackets, and you know more than anyone. You defeated Sagat's, whatever. And seriously, I know you are hella good at ST, but seriously, DSP is making up crap now to try and save face. And that makes sense. It's going to be the pattern
for the next 30 years, really.
Number one ST overall, no questions, Mike Watson, hands down. When he was playing, and we all know this. After that, it's debatable. I would say Choi number two in his heyday, but hey, no one really plays or cares anymore. Hey, Talby just said that, and that is correct. No one cares about ST anymore. This, by the way, is 1 year before DSP got fourth in EVO, just letting you know. So, Cole, I was really defending myself when you saw I won a tournament. I only tell the truth. No lies here. And again, DSP, let me reiterate, I did not do the Guilty Gear brackets. That was John at FFC only. Okay? Next up, we have a response from DSP, and that comes in this form. And it says this. If people are saying that sticks suck just because they were Switch, that's really fucking lame. But if shit was really fucked up at a major, that's inexcusable. But not the first time it's happened at any major. Jason, I'm not trying to get attention. If I were, I'd change my nick to DSP and spout out tophaters.com propaganda all day long, even though he did post a link. Yeah. I just didn't appreciate all the shit talk you spouted out on IRC about how ST at ECC was a non-skill fest when your own tournament sucked. Low turnout, fucked up controls, and complaining that nobody came when you moved to the middle of nowhere didn't help either. Also, having no spare 360s was a big mistake. And not having 360s for the games that are accustomed to using them was a big no-no. Switch on ST is okay. But when you're playing Marvel's Capcom 2 for 4 years on 360s, you begin to depend on them. Okay, anyways. Here we go. We're not. This one's long,
Oh,
guys.
you don't know the half of it.
Yeah,
mate.
this is crazy one, guys. Ever since last year, I thought you were cool. But then when I started to say I was a top ST player on the East Coast, if not the top player, you flipped and started acting like an ass. Who is better than me then? Ricky Ortiz, Spence, who always beats me but loses to certain characters for free, and Henry Sen. Considering I play the game seriously 3 to 4 times a year at most, I was an OG like you guys and don't have those years of experience to fall back on, I would say that's pretty damn good.
I thought he did. Like, he's been playing Super Turbo since like he saw it turn up in an arcade. And
Yeah, I guess
crowds everywhere, and
that's
how he met T.
And that's always like the weirdest fucking thing with like him and ST specifically was that he like came at it like really late. He started playing it competitively like so much later. Like, you know, again, most of the people that were playing it were people that had been playing it.
Okay, so he's not lying when he says he was an OG.
No, like
okay.
No, he wasn't lying. He came to it super late.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and then he stuck with it and never like. It'd be like one thing if he like played ST and played a few games and then moved on to another game, like that would be fine. But he didn't really do that. He was really into Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I know that
he started with that. Yeah,
but he never really made any waves with that game. Like, you know, Justin was the god of that game, which I think is a lot of the reason why he hates him so much.
Yeah, that's why I think he started not playing that game. He's like, all right, fuck that game. I got nothing. I can go nowhere there, but I can maybe win in Super Turbo, you know, or Street, you know.
Like, Justin's obviously an extremely good Street Fighter player, but like, you know, he's probably the greatest MVC2 player like that's ever lived, you know?
Yeah.
So like that's where he's really like up there, and I think Dave just knew that he wasn't going to be able to touch him. And so that's why he kind of just stuck with ST. And he's like, well, maybe if all the good competition leaves, kind of like he is today with CVS2, you know, playing, you know, there's like nobody on those games except for like, you know, just like randos.
And then he just crushes them and says, like, fucking scrubs. Yeah.
Yeah, if he thinks if he can crush enough scrubs, or he can just like outlast a lot of these people that have like moved on to other games or just moved out of the FGC altogether, then he thought he could squeak out a win.
Yeah,
and
you know,
that never really happened for him.
Big ups Gravity Dragon says, "Hey Steve, up late again. We live in the England. We should be tucked away in bed asleep. That is true, but Steve always fights through it." Big up, Steve.
I signed the contract. I took the payday bar. And
He has to, and he'll be up tomorrow for that. That being said, he'll be up tomorrow for that too. So come on, we make him work here. Okay, and that's but God forbid a player who was born after 1980 say he thinks he's good at a game pre-Alpha 3. The fact that you even played ST back when Switch sticks were still the standard speaks volumes. But I never asked to be ranked in your shitty Tricks and Trips magazine. So I don't understand why you acted like you did. Maybe if you seriously did get off of Watson, Ricky, and Gio's nuts for a few minutes, you would realize there are other players. He's bitching about not being noticed enough.
Well, he wasn't. You're not going to get noticed over Ricky because like Ricky at that time was insanely good. Like,
and he won all these best. Yeah, top 3 in like 18 of the games.
Ricky was winning everything in this era.
Yeah. At least, oh my God, guys. Oh my God, this first line is so bad. This first line is so cringe. All right. At least Cole respects me for learning the basics and winning with an obscure character like Blanca. Okay.
Yeah, let's take a moment to appreciate.
Yes, at least Cole respects me. All right. Yeah. I'm sure if I played Sagat at the all the time like Ricky, I would destroy 99% of my opponents too. I'm also sure that if I was this is the second time we've heard this exact same shit today, but it's not about the Cannon Brothers this time. It's about people that are better than him at fighting games.
Got no money now.
But I'm also sure that if I was a bum like him, I'd have way more time to play Yeah, definitely. I'd have more time to play Street Fighter. Unfortunately, I also enjoy the fun factor of Street Fighter, which is probably why I'll never be a top player. So, do you want to be a top player or not? What? I don't get this anymore.
Like, does he think that they don't play for fun? He thinks that's it. It's genuinely it, because he obviously can't like empathize, so he can't like put himself into someone else's position, so he can't understand that there's different positions out there, so we can't understand that people play for fun. Like people play these games for fun. They do it because they enjoy it. You know.
Of course. When you foolishly open your mouth on IRC and then get caught out online because 1, your tournament sucked, and 2, you dissed every Super Turbo player in attendance at ECC, it makes it all that much easier to be a top hater. P.S.
No.com.
When we do play ST, you can hook it up with Pac-Man sticks, since I'm sure that's what you're more accustomed to, old man. Yeah.
Someone's going to be throwing that back at you soon.
That's fine. That's
tomorrow.
Fine.
TBS, you'll get a super chat.
Dream TR says DSP ST sucks. It's all counter characters, and Blanca is not obscure. And as for 360s on Marvel's Capcom 2, we had one cabinet with Waiko 360s that no one complained about. So there we go. Far from done here, though. DSP chimes in again at, that's not him, surprisingly. 121 is here, and it says like this, right here. Okay. I have to agree with Jason here that 360s are garbage and Switch sticks are better. Connecticut had Switch sticks up until a few months ago, so I'm used to playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on both types. Okay. Blah, 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 both types of joysticks, and I have to argue that although 360s, okay, whatever. He's talking, whatever. Try triangle dashing on Switch sticks after a little practice, of course, and notice the difference. Also try blocking Magneto Rushdown on a Switch versus a 360, and you'll really begin to understand the difference when you can snap to those corners and avoid getting high-low tricked to high heaven. The fact of the matter is, whatever, he's talking about the differences of controls, okay? Mm-hmm. Now this is all providing that people were just complaining about Switch sticks that worked. I have played on some shit Switch sticks in my lifetime, so I know how horrible it can get, okay? Well, this person decided to respond to Punisher with that 3 there, which is DSP's name, and they said this. This is a good one. It says, Phil, people like you bug me to no end with your I could beat you if I practiced, cared, etc., attitude. Mm-hmm. Bingo. Yep. The point is you do care, you want attention, and you can't get it through conventional means, being recognized as a top player. So you seek attention by the only other means you know, dissing people.
Wow, I feel like I went back in time and wrote this or something.
This is one of the best, one of the best takedowns we've ever seen on this show, honestly. So on the money here, and says, nothing is more annoying looking through a pre-post tournament thread and finding some of your useless banter on why something sucks.
Yeah.
Is this you, Talby? Is this you? Or
no, it wasn't Wes? Me,
okay.
But like I'm
okay.
The recognition is strong, you know?
Go away like you promised you would after Evo last year. Or if you must stay around, and I know you will, since you seemingly have nothing better to do or say, offer up some useful info to some of the people in the community, since you're the self-proclaimed best Street Super Turbo player on the East Coast and 5th best in Marvel.
5th best.
By the way...
That's just really funny. About being 5th best.
By the way, you're not even close to the top of the food chain any day in ST as far as the East Coast contingent goes.
Yes,
then he names all the people better than him.
Yes, that's true.
Ooh, Pete, all are better than you and have proven it in tournaments. And that's from a legend known as Wes. And I'll put that on Twitter later as well. Let me screenshot that. Beautiful. One of the most beautiful posts we've ever seen on that Dent Sea Scrolls. And we got a lot more to cover here.
It's just like nowadays with like the Cammy coat, you know,
yes,
where he's like, I could play, if I played Cammy, I'd be really good too. And it's like, well, why the fuck don't you, Phil? Yeah. We all know the real reason. The real reason. It's the same reason he played Blanca back then is he's really bad in like Steve, I think you know fighting games a little bit. Like he's bad in neutral, he's really bad at footsies and things like that. Yeah. So he plays characters that have neutral skips, which is what Blanca has. The Blanca ball is a classic neutral skip.
Honda with the headbutt.
Yeah, Honda with the headbutt. He plays characters with neutral skips and characters that have strong throws. He's always been that way. So like he doesn't play those characters because he has no execution. His execution is terrible. Always has been terrible.
If you see the last, Ludwig made the video about his Street Fighter playing, kind of studied it, and how like Philip said he's not going to get angry. That same video, he just spams the moves that do the most damage every single time, and that is all he does. There's no thinking involved. It's like, oh, I have a chance. Okay, spam, heavy. There you go, big Ludwig order in the house. It's awesome. It's a very cool video to see that.
He's a legitimate like flowchart player. He talks about flowchart candies, but he literally is like, I'm going to do this. If this, then this, and if that stuff gets beat, then I guess I'm fucked, and I'm going to start bitching. Like that's really his entire thought process of playing.
Like his game plan for most of like Street Fighter characters is 2 low kicks, then a medium, and then if they're blocked, you do a throw, and if they're not blocked, you follow with a super, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're going to watch this at all this week, ALT, but last night's CVS2 Salt was legendary. It was there was some really good. He had a really good crash out last night.
Okay, sweet. We'll definitely watch it at some point, but I haven't seen anything from yesterday at all yet, so that'll be hype.
Yeah, you should check it out.
The Gravity Dragon says, I didn't mean the England, I meant the UK. I was self-felted by grammar again. Gotcha. You did say the England. But that's fair. I got it. I understand
everybody
everything.
Wants to be like grouped in with the English, so I can understand that.
Okay, there is... someone says then, what the fuck, this guy, and he's talking about DSP here, says, this guy claimed to be top 5 in Marvel on the East Coast? 3 question marks, which means like, are you for real? And then the West guy chimes in and says he did for a while. Those days are long gone at the current level of Marvel's Capcom 2. Okay, so there we go.
I guess too.
Yeah,
like,
go ahead.
It actually, I didn't realize for a long time that he was like a Marvel guy, like until like I got into more like detracting stuff. Like that's how little people really thought of him as like a Marvel versus Capcom player. Like I always thought he was just some washed ST player. I mean, he is like that is what he is. But like I didn't realize that there was a time when like MVC2 was like his main game. So that's that's like a little of a impact he made on that game and in that community.
DSP comes back and says, random people coming out of the woodwork to diss me. LOL. What else is new? I was top 5 in Marvel's Capcom 2 on the East Coast. Yeah, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Now there are about 8,000. Now there are about 8,000 hardcore players, so I'm not stupid enough to claim something like that.
But by your logic earlier, I have to jump on this. He talks about not being an OG. Well, that would make him an OG of MVC2, so he should have that experience, and he should be a top player.
Yeah, what's going on? Come on, man. Now they're about, as for ST, some of the people you mentioned I've beaten in tournaments. Some have beaten me, some have gone both ways, and some I've never even heard of or just haven't played recently. Maybe if you showed up at ECC and saw me win $250 for playing pretty shitty, I was off my game due to no practice. And then saw me tearing it up outside of the casual setup, and then saw my team get second place in the team tourney, losing only to Team God, then I think you would sing a different tune. You can't really flex on getting second place at this shit, man. I mean, that's kind of bad, but yeah, I got second, okay? Anyways, but let me
just stopped at the 250. Could have stopped at 250. Maybe
you don't say that.
If you told me win 250 in money matches, you'd know. That you'd sing a different tune or whatever. That was all you needed.
And he's brought up that 250 twice now. Good point, Bob Hoskins. He's really proud of winning 250, which shows how often he does lose these money matches.
It's the Tekken Mall trophy.
I won 250. He loses a lot.
He's used to being the ATM, and I mean, that 250 probably went back to other players very shortly thereafter, so it doesn't really matter.
But let me put it short and sweet. You were not there at ECC, or if you were blind. Therefore, get off me, son. You don't know me. It's idiots like you trying to flame that give me attention you think I shouldn't get. Okay, let me read that again. Duberziki says it's cause the 250 is from Triforce, and Triforce had to post something about Dave. Oh, okay, it was a bet from Triforce. Okay, that's very important. There you go. Okay, but let me put it short.
To Justin, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah, probably.
So it doesn't fucking matter.
Okay, so therefore, get off me, son. You don't even know me. It's idiots like you trying to flame that give me attention you think I shouldn't get in the first place. Ahem. I do think if I recall that Wilson posted pre-MWC 2002 that 20% 20% was to be kept, and I had no problem with it since it was pre-announced. I could be wrong, though, but I'm pretty sure I would have flipped out if found out afterwards. Okay.
We have a 220 in progress.
That's the 20% for, like, the prize pool, right? That's what, the prize pool was being held for, costs or whatever. But anyways, Dewey says, if you don't know, there was a funny audio of Visant talking about Ricky Ortiz and Arturo. DSP was jealous he didn't get quality time with the boys. I think I have heard that. It's very, let's say, homoerotic, joking around boys, right? I have heard that. But it's just a joke, guys, having some fun.
Hey, look, Ricky Ortiz first. Shocking.
Yep, Ricky, there you go. Ricky Ortiz winning first again. Here we go. And this is someone responds to DSP next and says, boy, you don't know how wrong you sound, Phil. Okay? All of the great Magneto players down here have played on P360s and never once start pink waving rushdown or miss blocked attempts. There really isn't that much of a difference. It's just easier to execute moves on the P360. If you get a chance, download some matches from Chris or Vinny and tell me that P360s fuck up Magnetos. That's what he's talking about there. Okay? Next, we go to another response from Punisher. They get someone. This was from that post from DSP long ago that said, "Why do you think so many people get Magneto's air boomerangs projectile when they're trying to triangle dash?" And then this person says they get those because they suck with Magneto. So it's not. Again, someone
execution.
Yep,
his execution's really bad. Always has been.
Not someone not agreeing with DSP there. We do have another entry from DSP and says, wait, the players have never once gotten a boomerang, never once missed a block attempt, so they never make mistakes and never get hit, so they are human walls of rushdown defense? But I'm the one that sounds wrong. And then he posts something from IRC and says all the Magneto players in Texas, LA can play perfect on P360. 20 seconds later, the same person says, no one hits every triangle dash, and then says, I don't get boomerangs on anything, learn to play. So let's recap. All the Texas, LA players play perfectly on 360s, making no mistakes, yet nobody plays perfectly, but Bryden never gets these boomerangs and plays perfectly. I love it. And can you translate, Talby? I don't get this.
I mean, this is from Phil, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is just we'll sum it up. This is a bunch of cope that he is bad at doing a move.
Okay.
That's really all this is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blames the controls. Other people have said the controls are bad.
This is the classic. My moves aren't coming out. It's lag. It's just another it's just cope.
Yeah. Okay. And
he's doing that thing where he goes to extremes again, where he has to represent your argument. I reduce to ad absurdum, so everyone plays perfectly and never misses a single input.
Yeah, it's so fucking annoying.
And people miss inputs all the time, but DSP doesn't practice his inputs, and he's really bad under pressure, so he's going to miss his inputs more than most in high pressure situations.
Yep. Bryden responds right away and says, just to clarify for Phil, I did not mean to use never, but exactly. So he's saying, don't try this extremism bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't use never, dumb fuck. But the way you dissed P360 and gave shit comments about it really was 100% opinionated bullshit. So as I retract my statement to say, Southwest Magneto players maybe, don't boomerang as much as you see every fucking Magneto player do. So there you go. They took it right back on there. There is another response here, 149, and says, this is Wes again, who is the all-star of the night right now. Wow, I stand corrected. You owned up in casual play and managed to get second in the team tournament, which was single elimination, no less, right? Way to go! I'm sure your team's second place finish was you and only you. No help from those other scrubs you were teamed up with. Somehow, though, in the singles tournament, everyone on my list placed higher than you and have done so repeatedly in past tournaments. When someone makes claims of being the best yet finishes below 8 other players in a tournament setting, I feel the need to call them out on it.
This guy completely had Phil's number. Just completely saw through his bullshit.
Yeah,
incredible.
And DSP will almost never, like I know he did here today once or twice, but you will see he runs from these people, and he decides well, I'm out, because this guy Yeah, when he's got a big rival like FM Jaguar. He doesn't fuck with him anymore either. After FM Jaguar fucked him up that one time, it's like, all right, I'm out. I'm not gonna fuck with this dude because he just says everything against him perfectly. And we'll see if that happens today. We still have a lot more posts though. Oh, and by the way, it's not that I feel you don't deserve the attention you get, Phil. Of course you do. You deserve it. Oh, God. You deserve it in much the same way a burning building gets attention from the fire department. I find it unfortunate, though, that you're not a better player. Maybe then you could stop making excuses for how you don't care about game XX or how you're out of practice, and you could garner attention from people for your play rather than your mouth. And Wes with the XOXO.
Completely felted.
Oh, God. DSP responds and says, blah, 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 151. Somebody seems to have forgot I made $250 playing Street Super Turbo. Third time we're mentioning that. Somebody seems to forget. I made $250 playing Super Turbo and playing rather shitty at that. But the question is, who is this West person? And the answer is, drumroll please, a nobody. And that he's pulled this playbook before, Steve. You know he does this.
Yeah.
Where
this
when
is promo.
when someone has a good point or something, oh, this guy's a nobody. Who cares? He always does this to this very day too. Because if a tractor said it, that means you shouldn't care. You know, because they're even if they say true things, they're a detractor. So why do you care what they say, guys? Anyways. I said it once and I'll say it again. Get off my nutsack, son. You don't know me or anything about me. Damn fags all up on my piece. Yeah. Hell yeah. Disclaimer. Okay. I'm just reading it as written, by the way. That's all I can do. I'm a historian. Okay. Then he gets responses. Wes is a nobody? He's been around in the Street Fighter community more than 99% of the players posting in this thread. And he talks to DSP directly now and says, no one is disputing that you made $250 at Super Turbo. I'm actually happy you managed to make that much money by talking so much shit. But you talked all this shit about how you were going to play second at ECC. Then you lose to a person who just started to play the game, Ricky, and isn't even top 10 in the US at Super Turbo. Not only that, in classic DSP fashion. This is 2003, by the way, guys. Yeah. 2003.
Same as it ever was.
The classic DSP fashion. You make a billion excuses about why you lost. Just take your losses like a man and don't complain like you always do, bro.
It's 21 and it's already classic DSP.
Jesus. Big ups, Jaha. You're featured here in a second. You have featured already once, but you're featured here in a minute. Okay, we're going to go back. 158. Okay, then someone says again, Punisher Wes is a Dream TR talks to DSP again and says, Wes is hugely respected and is way better than you at Super Turbo. You don't know about him and Jesse Howard, apparently. Then we go to... blah, 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 171. Okay, 171. There's FM Jaguar, just saw.
FM Jaguar, yeah.
What a legend. Just make sure he didn't say anything about Phil. He usually can't resist. No, okay. Nothing there. Okay, anyways. 171 is where I want to go. And here we go. Okay. So Wes, this is Wes again. Big ups to Wes. Love you, Wes. And this is the person, he's quoted the thing about how, like, you know, this guy responded to DSP and this guy's quoted that. Exactly what Arturo said. You're the self-proclaimed best on the East Coast, yet the results show otherwise, and I called you out on it. Period. I also noted the fact that you're a notorious excuse maker to cover up for your losses. Like you did before our CVS2 match last year in the re-entry tournament at MWC. So I have met you, I have played you, but don't necessarily know you per se. I just figure you want all this attention because you never got enough hugs and kisses as a kid.
Jesus Christ.
Never got that bike you always wanted or something. Oh, joke's on you. He didn't even
Actual
want a
rain
bike.
doll, actually. Yeah.
He didn't even want the bike. Dumb fuck.
Yeah,
I wanted the brown suit. He can't even ride it.
yeah, could have got punched off it and had it stolen. You don't know.
I'm giving you exactly what you crave. Why the animosity, Phil?
Bro, look again, like notorious excuse maker in 2003. Again,
this is wild. Oh, by the way, the 250 proves nothing really in regards to your playing ability. It only proves you could win a gimme bet. You baited someone with smack talk, so hats off to you for that. I guess you have to play to your strengths, right? If you want to win some serious money, might I suggest hitting up Mike Watson for some games at EVO? He's always down for betting. Surely the best East Coast Street Super Turbo player can mop up a has-been like him. Seems pretty easy, right, Phil? Why don't you go play some real players then if you're the best on the East Coast? Hi to all. Hopefully I'll be around. See you in August. Switch Sticks Rule, says Wes.
Mike Watson could be in a coma for 30 fucking years and wake up and the first thing that he does is someone like puts him in front of a cab and says play DSP in Super Turbo and he'd wash him.
I think he did, wasn't it? Like after he'd been confronted by Jaha and Mike, and they'd said like, just don't ever like our name never out of your mouth again. And then like Phil's next tournament was like against Mike.
Yep,
I'm sure he said that at some point.
Yep. So hold on now. I want to give me a little second here, guys, because someone, W Genius W. Okay, sorry. Never mind. Sorry. Okay. Now here we go. Now this is the moment I've been waiting for. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Here we go. There we go. This is the longest post of the night. Okay, so here we go. So DSP
We're back,
is Wait, I made excuses for why I lost in CVS2 at MWC 2002? Since when have I ever played that game seriously? Okay. I have used Cami Blanca Saga from day one because I don't play it and nobody does in Connecticut except for James Austin. So if I got beat, why would I make excuses? Well, you can believe he does make excuses when he loses. Out of all the Street Fighter games, CVS2 is the one I care the least about, so I'm pretty damn sure I wouldn't complain if I got schooled. Unless something blatantly went wrong, like a block going out. And even then, I probably wouldn't care because it's that shitty game.
He's currently playing CVS.
Yeah, he's currently playing it. Yeah, and he's currently playing it, and he keeps talking about how it's like one of the best true real fighters. Yeah, for sure.
Jesse Howard and I have some really good casual ST matches at NWC, meaning we went back and forth, and there was no domination on either side. He also seems like a cool guy, so I respect him. However, you don't know me or what I said about ST or anything else, or why I say the things I do. Yet you pretend to know something. You're a pretty poor psychiatrist. I'm not going to Evo this year because I'm in a non-paying internship. But the next time there is a major tournament that is worth going to, Impact. He writes Impact. You better show up so we can get some games in. Now, if you'd really like to know the truth about why I talk shit about Wilson, here it is in a nutshell. All right, here we go. Here's it is in a nutshell. One day I was at IRC joking around, talking shit like usual. I said I was one of the best in Super Turbo on the East Coast, and then somebody, probably Shirt, said bullshit. So there was an argument about who I could or couldn't beat, which included Flash, who I knew I could beat, Justin, Ditto, and Ricky Ortiz. Ricky was being hyped up as a Chun player, and I had played his Chun at CTF just a few weeks before and beaten him pretty convincingly. He was getting frustrated that I was beating him with Blanca, who loses clean to Chun. Then somebody on IRC told me he really used... Oh yeah, good point, big guy. I thought Phil couldn't afford to do unpaid internships, but here we have proof of him doing it. I thought only people with silver spoons could do unpaid internships. Anyways, Philip managed to do it. Anyways, he was getting frustrated that I was beating him with Blanca, who loses clean to Chung. Then someone in IRC told me he really used Sagat. To make a long story short, after about 30 minutes of intelligent discussion, and I'm sure, intelligent discussion, Wilson said something along the lines that he would put money on the fact that I would lose to Flash and Justin, which is bullshit. So, of course, in my usual fashion, I started talking crazy shit about being the best damn Super Turbo player on the East Coast, and I could beat Tally and the OG Virginia players, etc. Obviously, this was BS, but being the stupid, gullible old men they were, Wilson and Schertz thought I was being serious. So he just admitting to talking shit for the sake of it and being pissed when people believe him.
Okay. So are you good or are you not? Like, what?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
From then on, every time I went on IRC, Wilson talked shit about how I said I was the best in the East Coast and I was going to lose to Flash, Justin, and ST. Meanwhile, I didn't give two shits about until Triforce, the leader of Empire Arcadia, came on IRC spouting BS that the Empire would take down every tournament at ACC. I told him there was no fucking way in hell they were taking ST, and that I could probably beat every member of the Empire in it myself, which of course led to the ridiculous bet for 250 where I beat Jaran and Flash at ECC. That did happen. He did win that one. After ECC, Wilson asked me why I lost in Super Turbo. I said I lost to Spence, who always beats me due to his excellent anti-Blanca strats with Dalsim relatively early, and then a few rounds later lost to Ricky Sagat. I could give you a few reasons why I lost, but of course you just call them excuses, which they would be. Yeah. So I won't bother. I'll just say this. I was tired and I slept him stupidly. Slept in, I guess.
Right, I hope.
Yeah.
Maybe I slept with him. I don't know. Could be. Who knows?
He's gay.
I should have been thinking about what I was doing, but instead I ate about 4 jumping roundhouses. Why? I can't tell you why. All I can say is Ricky was on his game. I was off, and I lost. Big flippin' deal. Nobody cared. Okay, I'm right.
Seemed like you did.
Of course, Wilson cared and started spouting shit talk again. Then he even went on to insult every player involved in the ST tournament at ECC, saying that ECC is a subpar ST event, that the players there and the competition level are never as good as that as NWC, and that, get this, Jason Cole would never place at NWC. The guy who wins EVO 2 years in a row cannot win Midwest, according to Wilson. Give me a break. So not only do you insult me by digging at me that I lost to Ricky, like I care. Okay, definitely don't care. You have now insulted every ST player at ECC by saying that basically we suck and are nothing compared to MWC, and you always take a personal hit on Cole and say he's only good because of luck. He never has to face a Balrog Bison, but only Shoto types, and that's why he wins. Give me a motherfucking break. Almost done. So, after all that crap, it's only natural that after MWC sucked the nuts with low attendance, I was going to come on here and publicly reply. Wilson had said that MWC was the best ST tournament, but a month after saying that, a man who admittedly does not play ST, dislikes the game even, does not practice, wins it. Jason fucking Wilson takes ST at MWC 2003. I'm sorry, but I can think of about a half dozen people off the top of my head who were at ECC who could beat Jason Wilson, including Jason Cole. So basically all that bullshit Wilson talked on IRC came back to bite him right in the ass, and when I brought it up, he freaked and said I was banned from his tournaments. And don't even try to say that you didn't say that, Wilson, because what else does "do not even bother coming to my tournaments" mean? That does not mean you're banned at all. How dumb do you have to be to think? God.
Come, yeah.
How dumb do you have to be to think that means banned? All right, anyways.
Yeah, if you don't like it, don't come. Like, it's not that complicated.
That's that. It is my fault if a bunch of old men take my joke in IRC seriously. I've been saying I'm the best at Street Fighter games since MVC 1, and I probably play the least out of all the people that attend major SF tournaments. As I've said, I go to have fun and joke around. Right. And talking shit is a part of that. If people can't understand that, it's their loss, and I could care less. And if I pick up 250 extra by talking junk to some schmuck, then so be it. Now read my goddamn signature and shut the fuck up about this. So I don't know what the signature was. Maybe Doomer will know, but I don't remember what that was.
Said.
Yeah. So then
he takes a lot of pride in not practicing.
Yes, he does.
Which is very odd to me. Like, he has this thing for, like, he even with games nowadays that, like, he thinks that having, like, natural talent is the only talent that matters. But even then, like, Michael Jordan is a naturally talented basketball player, but he still spent a lot of fucking time in the gym. Like, he doesn't understand the concept of, like, trying to get better.
Yeah. It's not, and to be honest, he cares very deeply about what other people think about him. So what he does is like use that as an excuse as to why he loses, right? So like, I didn't really, I lost that because I don't even play. I don't care that much, It's just like, it's another cope mechanism, right? That I don't even practice as much as them. So
it's also another way to insult someone by going, oh, you've just spent all your time doing this. You've been playing it because you've got no life. So you've had the time, whereas I'm too busy operating a household to do it.
Yeah. It's like, come on, man. So someone says that signature is weak, so they did check the signature and said that was weak. So there we go.
I bet it was.
Then we have FM Jaguar, the legend, is here and says, I'm going to read it exactly. So I'm not a combo kitty here. I've played on all kinds of sticks. That was DSP, right? Or no? Oh, no, that was not DSP. Excuse me. That was not DSP. He's making fun of somebody else. Here is Dream TR, though, who is talking about DSP and says, DSP, you have selective memory. That is for sure. Cole lost to me at MWC 2 years ago, same year that he won B5. So you saying that he can beat me in a tourney? Well, of course he can, but plenty of people lose and beat everyone in tourneys. It's Super Turbo. Who are these half a dozen people that will beat me in tourney that were at ECC? You don't think Nelson and APOC would have taken them? What about Spence? Everyone has their good and bad days at ST, but your place at ECC is not even close to my worst placing at an ST major, and that was B4 when I got 9th out of God knows how many. Fact is, ST is always wide open. Everyone can beat everyone at any given moment. No one knows anymore. So don't go off saying there are 6 people that will just own me up on that list, since you know that Cole will mop me for free, and when that is not the case, but as for being better than me, well, is Chris Lee or Masaka or any Honda player better than Cole? I mean, it's matchups, and your logic is messed up. He lost to me at MWC. I've lost to Wes in tourney, Jesse in tourney, and beat them in tourney. It happens. Just don't be thinking Cole is number 1 at ST. He loses the characters that beat Dalsim. 0-6 at SBO should tell you. But in turn, he'll own up the best players as well, and so will Watson, Choi, Valle, Shirts, Jumpsuit, anyone. There is no clear number 1, okay? And, as you might have expected, after that epic takedown, DSP did not say anything again, okay? So that was the end of that legendary thread. I thought that was a great one. Okay. So this is pretty standard behavior, though. Obviously, Talby, you've seen many of these different threads, right? That's why I thought it was one we already covered, but it wasn't, because we've seen many like this.
and I'm sure that if you kept digging, you'd find
thousands of these,
because this is just what he does, and it's what he's always done. Is he just goes into these threads and he shuts them up. And I did like that the last guy pointed out like that Super Turbo is wide open, because like one thing that game has is that it has like random damage. Like you can do a heavy punch, it does a random amount of damage, and so of course like a player can beat another player, because there's way more RNG than that game compared to like
the stun range as well.
2. Yeah, there's so much random weird stuff. Like if you tech a throw, you still take damage. Like it was a very, it was an old fighting game, and there was a lot of weird stuff about it.
Okay, so the
finish
finish
literally runs different at different speeds depending on the stage. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
And it's really funny too, because he really hates Super Smash Brothers of all games, because he talks about it not being competitive, and you can make an argument about that. But I would say Super Smash Brothers is more competitive and more balanced than Super Turbo is, and I say that with all the love in my heart for Super Turbo.
But
when they made it, they weren't thinking about tryhards like DSP.
Exactly.
No. Nothing like this. No.
Yeah.
Okay, so to finish tonight, we're going to go back to an old classic, okay? We're breaking out one of the classics. And this is an amazing 30 minutes of audio we have for you, maybe 20 minutes, I think. I'm going to fast forward it to the part where the person known as Bunke, who's actually been on That Being Said before, he has a radio show, and he revealed to everyone that he was diagnosed with diabetes, okay? And right on time, a certain DSP called in the show to give his thoughts on this. And why I chose to play this again, because recently DSP has been on the health side Phil Kick for a while. And
here we Dean sandwiches.
Yes. So here we go. Let's listen to a classic moment here from Alphaism Radio.
Sorry, Ben. I just gotta say
Is this the kind of diabetes that has to do with being overweight, or does this have to do with?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's, you know, I'm about 60 pounds overweight.
Oh, all the time.
You know, and
On
so
Alphaism
obviously
Radio.
being overweight does factor into it, and the fact that it does run in both sides of my families, and also I'm African American. African Americans tend to have it more than other ethnic groups. So, you know, it's basically, you know, some of it probably is my fault, you know, for being 60 pounds overweight, and I've actually did not have a good day today because, you know, the doctor, you know, gave me a diet recommendation, and like my lunch is supposed to be 2 pieces of wheat bread and ham. I'm not ham, I'm turkey.
So I'm playing this whole thing because you can hear this person is taking this very seriously, Bunke, right? He understands his predicament and understands what he has to do, and he's really talking about it. He's kind of bearing his soul here on this show, right? And he's taking it seriously.
Through it because, like, it's obviously a major change that he's going to have to make to his life. His whole diet has to change now. So he's trying to come to terms with that.
A person with empathy would understand.
Like that. I mean, I'm
you know,
starving right now, you know, but I really can't eat anything because right now I don't have the money to buy all of that food, you know, that they want me to buy. You know, and most of the food that they want me to eat, I don't really eat. You know,
someone's talking here.
It's a big change for me, you know. But I just want you guys to know that just in case, you know, something does happen, you know. And that's pretty
Dude, this is too negative and too morbid. I'm sorry, but Ben, hit me up after the show because I lost 40 pounds since December. I was really in a bad way last year, and hopefully I can help you out. You know?
Right. I mean, it's not.
Eddie has a move where
it's not as.
God, hang up on that guy in the back. Jesus Christ.
I mean, don't get me
Quick
wrong.
pause.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you remember why he lost that weight?
I don't remember. I do not remember that.
He had pneumonia.
I do not. Oh, yeah, okay. From pneumonia will help you lose. No, DSP's audio is not slowed or pitched down. This is just him.
Pain, you know, and plus, you know, sticking myself with insulin and all of that stuff, you know, I am not terribly fond of that, you know. I have a deathly fear of needles, and, you know, pricking myself it was an ordeal in itself. But I do want to, but you know, I got some guidelines and suggestions from different people, and I'm sure that
Jesus Christ, the background dude.
What is going on, dude? Someone turn off your radio. That's mad annoying.
whoever's on the radio is playing Guilty Gear in the background, so I heard him mention Eddie.
Someone's listening.
Best of luck with that, Ben. But you know what, Ben? You always have like a pessimistic view, and you always seem to put ultimatums on yourself, and nothing ever happens. Everything works out all right for you, so I think you'll be okay.
Well,
The worst thing you can do is put an ultimatum on yourself, you know?
He always does it.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'm really putting an ultimatum, but at the same time, though, you know, I mean, I'm going to try my best. I mean, that's all I can do. And you know, and then whatever happens, happens. That's how I look at it.
There you go.
You know.
Okay.
And
it is what it is.
That's how I'm going to look at it, you know. And I mean, I told the guy that the diet that they recommended me is unrealistic.
Recommend you is all.
It's like in the morning.
You know what? Like, you know what though? The diet that the doctor recommends you is always unrealistic.
I mean,
you just gotta make it real for yourself and still work out and still eat healthy. You know, there's a realistic way to do everything.
Right. So
I
mean, I'm gonna try to do my best. And
fuck what the doctor says. Am I right, guys?
Not enough. Doctor doesn't give enough pizza. Doesn't give enough gin.
Yeah, fuck that shit, man.
It says in the guidelines, but at the same time, though, I'm not going to starve myself over this. I mean, that's basically what it is. I'm like, who do you know only eats a sandwich for lunch?
Okay, never mind. Bunke's not that serious, I think.
I'm not saying that you should go out and pig out, but at the same time, though, like some of the stuff that they have, like in the morning, I'm supposed to have an apple. And I can half of
that sounds like a drastic fucking starvation plan to me. I don't know if that's
seriously,
gonna work.
this is what they like.
Apples are great, bro.
Give me what you're going to talk about in a minute.
Yeah, DSP agrees.
Eat like a bowl of whole wheat cereal with skim nasty milk. I mean, I'm going. Okay, you know, it's like
Skim nasty milk.
Skim milk. Oh, man.
I mean, you know, but here's
I'm
another thing,
vegetarian,
right?
and that sounds nasty.
I can't have
I
sodas
didn't know that
anymore.
milk had any sugar in it.
I can't have sodas
It
anymore.
does.
I can't have sodas anymore, so I have to give away all of my sodas place because that was a waste of money.
Yes.
And
Go to the homeless.
I can't drink.
Feel good about yourself.
No, that's all I was gonna do is dehydrate them. I mean, all I could do is, you know, buy diet soda, but I don't like any diet soda. I tried Diet Dr. Pepper, which people say is great. Stuff is horrible. You know,
It's pretty good as Coke Zero.
I tried that today. Stuff is horrible. I mean, it's
Oh, seriously, if
Diet-
you really
Diet
need
Coke
help with
is-
this, I can help
Here we go.
you out.
here we go.
Just, you know, like I said, I lost 40 pounds in the past 6 months, and I really didn't even do that much. So I want to help you out.
Oh, yeah, you had
Just
fluid
hit me
in
up
your
after
lungs.
the radio show.
okay, that's fine. But I won't pass.
Same here too, hey.
All right,
And
so
also-
Wizard's
oh,
finally
sorry.
going to call in.
Buy something in the chipper, and it's anything.
Okay,
I
I'm
don't
going
like
fast
around.
forwarding a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, well, dang, I mean, I mess out of me.
There's a lot of sugar in it.
So I can't have lemonade.
And forget the citric acid. There's a lot of sugar in lemonade.
Not if you have natural
No,
lemonade.
but
if you just have lemonade.
No, there's what they're saying is that the ingredients inside of lemons have digest as sugar, even though they're not really sugar. They digest
Ingredients, yeah.
into your system. So
It's like
it doesn't
explain
matter
the
that I
concept
put
of like a
any,
natural
any
sugar to
in
me.
it.
Yeah.
They-
A lot of big brains in this call right now, guys. Just letting you know.
The nature you were asking about Alphaism Radio. Like
Yeah,
the nature
yeah.
of these discussions is why I didn't listen to Alphaism Radio. Like,
Yeah, you get the
Oh,
you get it.
I can't have it.
One of my
Yeah.
favorite quotes was when they were talking about like, are you smarter than a 10-year-old? And I think it's Mickey D goes, yo, those like fifth graders are mad smart, and Bunker goes, no, we're just mad dumb.
yeah.
at least he's self-aware.
yeah. It's like the best summary of alphaism.
Yeah.
And so there we go. And so I got my fat-free milk and a nasty-ass cereal in the pantry.
I'm fast forwarding. I'm going to
And I'm gonna try to see
1.5.
if I can deal with this. Otherwise, this might be a very, very short radio.
Yeah, but we're not like Cheerios. Like
He's just-
Cheerios like whole week.
He's just like willing to. He's like, oh man, if I can't eat my pizza, I'm just willing to die. It's so
I hate
funny.
diet soda.
Yeah.
No, they said they like grains are okay. Yo, now Alphaism Radio.
This is Mr. Wizard.
How's it going?
All right, so there's Mr. Wizard.
You're all screwed now.
Everyone fan.
My site, my rules.
Because he's behind SRK.
How you been doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Been better.
Don't ask.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's all right. It's all right. Well, so what do you have to say about this whole, Guilty Gear situation?
I think it's a good move that we're moving to AC, even though it might appear that.
I think this is nothing.
here, but say-
Skipping
Like,
past
if I would
this.
be, I see it as
He's just talking about Guilty Gear, which you don't care.
Oh God,
I think it's
Guilty
just
Gear.
kind of easy.
Do you agree with DSP's take on Guilty Gear?
No, and that's why
Okay,
I kind of
thank you.
said, "Oh God, Guilty
Okay,
Gear." 'Cause
thank
it
God,
was
thank
like
God.
it was like a very long running. He just doesn't like the anime fighters and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
not trying
yeah.
to sidetrack us and whatever. Like, they're completely legitimate. They're fine. They play
Yeah.
different, whatever. But yeah, there were people. He was not the only one to be that way. We'll just say that. I don't
Oh,
really
okay,
like
yeah.
like Guilty Gear isn't my type of game, but it's just
Mhm.
like. But it's just not my kind of game. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have anything against it, you know.
Yeah.
I think
good
his
and
problem with it though is like they typically have a really high execution ceiling for like
Yeah.
more complex
Yeah.
characters, and yeah, he doesn't like that.
Yeah, someone in the
Jaha
chat, he wants
asked-
to play Marvel Tokon. He hates Arxis games. He hates all the games they
Yeah.
make. So
So Jaha's asked who's the guest. Talby was someone that called into the call-in show, and he was around. He knew basically he was on SRK, just like you were, before DSP was on YouTube. So I thought it'd be interesting to get his take on stuff.
Right thing to do, and it'll hopefully work out for every.
Comes out, and it's absolutely horrible.
Okay.
It's one
I'm
done
getting past
under a certain
this.
budget.
Getting past this.
Xbox 360 to PS2. Oh, not bad enough.
Dedicated.
DSP's just shut up here. So
my hair is, but that was.
I'm just being realistic, man. From a comic gamer's point of view, you cannot play anything on the 360.
oh God, what the
Whoa.
fuck?
Well, that's a year away, right? And the best thing would be if someone made a good PS2 to 360 adapter, right? And maybe actually PS2 to PC might work. PC to USB, I mean. PS2 to USB.
Okay, I'm gonna pass this.
Oh, hell no. There's something wrong with my shit. Hold on.
It sounds like you're on the beach.
God!
Damn, that's bad. I'm gonna step out. I might be back a couple hours.
Okay then.
All right, man.
Hold it down. See you guys later. Good luck with those diabetes.
All right, thanks, man.
Good luck with those diabetes.
Later, man.
Here we go.
Very sensitive, folks.
Uh-huh. Good luck with those diabetes, guys. Go get them.
Ben, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I just wanted to say my dad has type 2 diabetes. He's about 54, and he's managing fine. It's not that hard.
Very thoughtful.
But he doesn't follow the diet that your doctors recommended. So...
I mean, this is just don't give a shit what don't give a shit about what doctors say, guys. That's the recommendation.
I'm going to be reasonable with it, but I'm one of those people where if it's not enough, then screw it.
If it's not enough, then screw it.
It's been nice knowing you. I mean, I don't really mean it like that, but at the same time, though, I am not going to starve myself over this, and I'm making myself clear. It's not like that.
Okay, I'm going to pass this a little bit.
6 months.
No, that won't happen.
Well, if they don't get my blood sugar down.
All right, Ben, how much do you?
Here we go. This is where the fun begins.
And it probably will happen if they don't get my blood sugar down.
All right, Ben, how much do you weigh right now? Let's be honest.
235.
All right, you weigh.
Okay, so smaller than Cap.
Easy. I can kick you off pretty easily. It's a button. I gotta push a button.
Artie Lang is on the Howard Stern show every single day. He weighs over 300. He doesn't have diabetes.
Dude, it's not. Oh my God.
It's not weight-based.
Oh my God, yes. Everyone that's above 300 pounds has diabetes. What? Okay.
He eats the shittiest of food every day on the air. You're not going to get fucking into a coma because you have diabetes. This is insane.
Oh my God. Yes, you will. This is literally going to kill someone if they follow Phil's advice.
Do not follow this advice, everybody.
Oh
Do not. You're not going to go in a fucking coma, dude. Give me a break.
Not everybody is the same.
Hypoglycemia. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, no one does that.
Coma because you have diabetes. This is insane, man.
Well, not everybody is the same either, Phil.
Right.
It's like, come on, man. The doctor feels bad because you're overweight. He's trying to give you a way to make you lose weight. You will lose weight if you want to, but don't buy into the fucking bullshit. I mean, you're not going to get diabetes tomorrow and go into a coma.
Don't buy the bullshit. Don't buy the bullshit, man. Doctors, assholes.
Well,
right?
he might not. Yeah, he might not go into a coma, but he could lose his foot or his hand or who knows?
Yeah.
Fuck those. That's crazy to think the doctor said diabetes because he didn't want to say to lose weight. That is insane. That is insane. The doctor doesn't have the power to say, "Hey, man, you got to lose weight." What?
Yeah. The doctor thinks that this issue, your weight, is the real issue that he wants to address, but he don't want to say that, so instead he's going to tell you, "Hey, you might get this other disease." What the?
God,
no, he's going to tell you, dude.
How do I tell this guy that he needs to lose weight? Oh yeah, I know. I'll tell him he has diabetes. That'll work.
That means at risk of cancer. That'll get it.
Yeah.
Good message.
Oh, it's funny. Big ups Evil AJ says Artie in current year has diabetes now, so there we go. Philip said Artie Lang from the Howard Stern show doesn't have it, but yet now he does.
No, what he's saying is if they do not bring down my blood sugar level, that I can go into a diabetic coma.
Hyperglycemia.
And the thing, I mean, there's just more to discuss on it. I mean, it's not I don't think it's an all or nothing thing. I mean, I don't know, did you ask him, one thing I did was just add salads before the sandwich, and I don't know what the doctor would have to say about that, but there's a certain type you can add to the meal.
I can eat salad, I can have certain type of sauces with the salad, and but I would look at it's not like that they want me to peel it off.
Fast forward a little bit.
Food spices and things.
Into the diet, and that's just it. I mean,
you should link Ben to that 5-quart Black & Decker steamer that you bought or whatever like that.
Oh, yeah.
Steaming food is really good. It's healthy for you, Ben, and it tastes good, and it's easy, it's quick. It's actually less hassle than actually cooking or frying or anything like that. You know, you just pop it in a steamer and let it go for a half hour, and you can make. I mean, if you get a big enough one. I mean, Rich was looking at one where you know, it held enough for like a. I can't remember how big the.
Yeah, that was a huge one. I actually got a. Yeah, I got, I think, one of the smaller ones, and that's...
All right, steamers. Shout-outs to steamers. All right.
Can you, can you imagine, like, this makes me laugh so much just because, like, can you imagine, like, these calls are basically just, like, conversations I had with my friends when I was in fucking college.
Yeah.
I would be mortified if those existed online.
Oh, my dude, I'm so glad they don't, honestly. I'm so glad there's no fucking, like, radio I called into at this age.
We're laughing about how stupid these guys are, but, like, we've all said shit like this stupid in our 20s,
dude,
right?
No.
100%.
I'm going to push back on that. When I was, however old, the DSP's what, 25? Yeah, DSP's 25 in this call. I think I was past saying a lot of dumb shit. High school, that's different. But at 27,
I guess the way that
I'm really working a job and stuff.
It's just the way that I think of him. Yeah, you're right. He's 25. Like, it just seems so much younger to me. Like, this sounded like,
In high school, I'm doing this. Absolutely.
Yeah, true.
Oh yeah, I heard that
when they find like new cave paintings. You're like,
oh yeah, definitely. I'm just saying, teenager, I don't want. I would not. If there's a radio, thank God there's no radio show I called in when I was 14 or 15. But when I'm 27, I'm not saying that insane stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking like 18 to 22 is what I mean. Like,
that's around a good age too.
Like, high school age to like through college. Like, I don't want any of that stuff out there.
Definitely, I agree with that.
Like, really like a 3-4 person thing.
Right.
And I used to get the fried Chinese food and all that stuff too. And again, there's a certain way you can do it.
Right, because he goes, what foods I eat the most often?
Well, okay, if you eat those most often, okay.
Right, because he goes, not necessarily that I eat it every day, but like, what food do you like normally eat, at least once a week or twice a week? And I put that on my food, and he says you can't eat none of them.
You can't eat any of those.
What you really have to do, like, I think, like, in the big picture of it is just, like, as a percentage is concerned, like, you can still eat what you want to eat. Like, you can still have, like, a high-calorie diet. Just, you have to, that percentage of...
You can still have a high-calorie diet. Pretty cool.
Like the sugars or whatever that you're not
when people
supposed to
buy,
have.
like, like junk food and pizzas and things at the shopping, and they're loading up all the pre-prepared frozen meals and all this unhealthy stuff, and then big bottle of Diet Coke.
Oh, that's the diet. Go on.
Meals like goes down, just so the percentage.
It's not just sugars though, because carbs are processed as sugar in your bloodstream. So anything with carbs in it, I can't have.
This is just the Tenacious D bit.
Yeah.
It's actually not the
half
sugars.
Diet Coke. I'm trying to watch my fake hair.
Without sugar, but like just about. But you remember that most of America's diet is on high carbs food.
Mm-hmm.
So
Here, Philip.
It's kind of hard for me to avoid everything that has high in carbs because everything is high in carbs. I mean, I can start eating spinach. All right. I mean, that's really
right. I'll tell you right on the radio. This is my diet every single.
Here we fucking go, boys.
Let's fucking go.
This is the diet you want. All right, listen up, losers. Here we go.
You will not believe this, but this is what I eat every day. Okay. And keep in mind, I used to weigh 240 pounds last year, and since December when I had pneumonia, I.
Step one, get fluid in your lungs. All right?
Get the pneumonia rocking and rolling. All right, guys. Next up,
change my diet, and this is now I weigh 198 pounds. All right,
198 pounds.
Very svelte.
Hello.
All right, every morning before I even go to work, I go to Duchess. Immediately, I go to fast food. Everyone's like, "What the fuck?" Every single morning, I go to.
Every single morning he goes to Duchess. Okay, so Duchess. Let's see if I can get a picture of what this was.
Duchess. I buy a bacon, egg, and cheese, and I buy an orange juice.
Well, at least Duchess is like real bacon, egg, and cheese.
Dude, Duchess really is. It's a real egg that they fry. A couple.
So
pieces.
basically, that's what he's eating right now, guys. Same thing. It's just a frozen version, right?
Yeah.
I found it.
Jimmy Dean. Yeah. I saw him in Costco the other day, and I was like, "Oh, big ups, DSP."
This is what he's eating. This is from Duchess, the official website. My love affirmation words. My love language is words of affirmation. Your bacon, egg, and cheese is ready. This is what he was eating, guys. That's it, right there. So don't worry, guys. It's healthy though.
Right there.
It's real eggs though, guys. So don't worry. Okay. Anyways, and he still eats that very same thing today. But go
There's a
ahead.
bacon, cheese on top of it. It's not, McDonald's processed food. It's a real bacon, egg, and cheese.
Connecticut only.
Yeah, I guess Connecticut only, but you need a real bacon, egg, and cheese. It's really, really greasy, by the way, and an orange juice. That's what I have for every morning for breakfast. For lunch, I have like either a ham sandwich or a turkey sandwich with cheese, mustard, mayonnaise, whatever.
Okay, so
I
is it okay if
have
that's
a
meat sandwich?
granola bar because granola is really important.
Why is that really important?
I have some crackers just because I need something else in my stomach.
Okay, so we're on our second snack now. We have the granola bar snack and the crackers snack now. Okay, next.
And I actually have a candy bar. Every single day I have a candy bar for lunch. And then to drink, I have like a...
You're not you when you don't have your Snickers, right?
It's I have granola, crackers, and then add a candy bar to lunch. I mean, obviously.
I have a candy bar. Every single day I have a candy bar for lunch. And then to drink, I have like a Gatorade or something like that. Not water, but like a power drink because I need it in the middle of the day. I feel tired.
Yeah, it's fine
power
if you've got a
drink?
blood sugar imbalance, like Gatorade.
Gatorade.
You know what can make you feel
power.
really tired is being dehydrated.
Oh,
I don't know
no.
if you guys knew that.
Get the Gatorade power drink.
For dinner, I have something that's substantial for me, like chicken or a steak, something like that. And I have a vegetable with it. Sometimes I have a noodle,
Guess what I'm
sometimes I don't.
A noodle.
Sometimes I have a noodle. Sometimes I don't.
Vegetable
penne.
with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have a noodle, sometimes I don't.
Guess what I'm getting? A barbecue grill.
You know what? For dinner, that is really crucial. You need to have meat every dinner. You really do. You need to have some kind of meat. If it's turkey or beef or whatever, you need to have meat for dinner. And a barbecue grill will burn the fat right off that meat, and you'll be able to have it, and it'll still taste good.
No fat.
Great thought.
Burn that fat right off, brother.
You put barbecue sauce or whatever on it, it'll taste pretty good.
No fat barbecue sauce.
Hey Ben, are you gonna go with the that fire in a barrel barbecue grill that he saw?
Oh,
that
shut
You
up.
guys in the newspaper?
A crucial meat,
Oh,
chicken.
wait, hold on.
Crucial.
Crucial meat.
With Dick Buckus? The one where they out on the beach and they was making those burgers
Crucial
using
meat.
newspaper?
Hell yeah. That's the way you do it.
So for dinner, I have
The conversation died, so Philip brought it back. So,
Go back to
anyways,
the topic
back to my story.
That's the way you
That's what
do
I'm
it.
saying.
So for dinner, I have a crucial meat, chicken, beef,
Crucial meat.
whatever, a vegetable, and sometimes I have a side, like I said, like maybe a French fry or.
That's the vegetable. A French fry. That's potato.
I was thinking in my head, I was like, oh, he hasn't named a single vegetable yet, and then he said a vegetable, and I'm like, oh, okay, and then
We got a
French
potato.
fry. He just
Come
immediately
on.
tanks it.
That's a
carrot.
vegetable. Shut
And
up.
sometimes I have a side, like I said, like
Potato,
maybe a French
technically.
fry or a noodle.
A
That's
noodle.
okay a couple times a week. I don't want to have it every day. But a side is okay if you're hungry. You can fill yourself up with something like that.
Okay.
And then besides that, I swear to God, I don't snack.
You've already snacked enough.
You eat candy bars.
It's a granola bar, crackers, and a candy
Trail
bar.
mix.
We already had our snack.
I have a bottle of water next to me all day. If I'm hungry, I drink that fucking bottle of water and I fill it up and I drink it again.
So you're still starving yourself?
I'm not
Starving
starving
yourself.
myself. No, if you have
Jesus Christ, dude. He has a candy bar with
3
lunch.
square meals a day, and fast food for breakfast. Maybe that's not a square meal, but am I hungry
Maybe.
during the day? At some points, yes. But if you just drink that bottle of water, you will not feel it. You
I'm
won't.
doing the same
No,
thing
no.
you're doing, and I can tell
Water
you
is
that.
how you deal with thirst, not hunger.
Yeah.
Well, and also like this meal, even like this healthy meal, or diet. I mean, this is like
Yeah.
a 2,500 calorie a day minimum.
Oh
you
God!
know.
Okay, let's talk about that burger. That breakfast sandwich right there is at least 500. He's getting a full
Yeah,
glass of orange
easy.
juice as well, adding 300 to that. We're up to 800 in breakfast, and then we got a candy bar in addition to crackers and a granola bar. You know what I
And
mean?
Gatorade.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Now that's the diet. That's the diet part of it. at least 3 to 4 times a week, I get on an exercise bike and I ride for about 45 minutes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, buddy.
I missed pushing X on this one. So, X, where's this exercise bike? Where are we getting this puppy at?
And I sweat. I'm not talking about I'm riding a slow ride. I'm riding as fast as I possibly can. And I burn those fucking calories as much as I can.
Right.
And I'm the kind of person who, I have not...
It doesn't matter. You can't outrun a bad diet. It's an old lie. Like, if you're eating 3,000 calories a day, you could be on the bike for an hour and 45 minutes. It doesn't fucking matter, bro.
But well, I'm very much questioning this fucking bike. I don't know.
Especially 3 to 4 times a week is like, I mean, okay, sure, but
it's better than nothing. But we're not fighting around 3,000 calories, you know?
Exercise for years.
Yeah, but like you can't even use the exercise bike because you might get punched off it at the gym and someone will steal it.
Someone will steal it. God damn it!
4 years, I haven't even lifted a weight. I haven't done anything. I jumped on that fucking bike in December after I felt so shitty after getting pneumonia, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pedal till I die. And right now, I feel so much better. I went from literally 245. I'm down to about 198 right now, and I still got to lose. I think I got to get down to about 185.
That's still happening to this day, by the way.
And I'm sorry, but he said he was 25 here, and he's said he's going to pedal till he dies, and he gets to 45 minutes. Like, that's not very impressive for a 25-year-old man.
25-year-old,
no,
dude. 25-year-old, I could, dude.
That's very poor cardio health. Like,
let's get real. When you're 25, you can I could drink my ass off. Next day, hungover. Oh yeah, I'll run 4 miles, no problem. Like, it's just a different ball game when you're in that age, man. You know what I'm saying? It's different. Your body could adapt to shit, and we all put our bodies through shit through college. Not everybody, but a lot of people did, and we were still able to do sports way better. You know what I'm saying?
You very recently talked about being 185 pounds in truck simulator.
It's not.
And
that
I
hard.
see the chat like pneumonia wrecks your lungs. I've had pneumonia before. I'm not saying it's really tough. Like, I'm not trying to say that, but again, like, he's saying that 45 minutes is this like grand amount of time when it's really not that special.
Oh yeah, Herculean tab. Big ups, Mr. Gorhal. I'll hit that at the end, Mr. Gorhal. Big ups, thank you.
I still got to lose. I think I got to get down to about 185. It's not that hard. It's about eating the same thing and also doing that little bit of exercise a couple days a week. It's not that hard. We're talking a half an hour to 45 minutes, man.
See, it's already getting less, by the way. You know, it's really 15, actually. You know, 30 to 45.
I mean, okay. That works for you.
He got through one Smashing Pumpkins.
Look, even Bunke there is like, okay, let's just move on.
Bunke's like, all right, man, we got it.
5 minutes, man.
Without outright saying.
I mean, okay, that works for you.
Yeah, I don't think he's not concerned about the weight. It's just what he can and can't eat.
No, what concerns me?
No, he just said he eats what I eat. You know, I think the only difference is the exercise right now.
And you have gout now.
Yeah. I wonder how that gout happened. The fucking ant.
Made plans as far as doing that. But what I'm saying is, you're talking about.
Can you imagine going for? I mean, I don't know, but going to fast food every fucking day, like he just said, like very clearly, every day he's going to Duchess. Hey, Phil, what's up, man? Your usual? Oh, you know it, honey. Give me that sausage and biscuit. You know, it's wild.
Well,
every fucking day.
You know, you eat.
Yeah, bro. Like there was a period in like when I worked at a previous job where they moved me onto day shift for like 2 weeks, and during the days there was like a fast food van outside our building, obviously knowing like the customers and all that. But like for this 2 weeks, I spam an egg for like every day, and it was great because I fucking love spam and egg. But I couldn't do that every day for like any longer than that, you know. I need to say like I go every morning.
I used to commute to work about an hour a day.
Yeah,
and I wasn't getting. Yeah, I mean every so often I would get a breakfast sandwich or something. Yeah,
definitely.
Like, give yourself a little treat. Why the fuck not? You're driving on the road, but doing that every day is just like, one, it's expensive. You know, you're spending so much money doing that. And two, you're just gonna feel like shit.
Wonder how much this is costing at this time too, you know? And he's doing this unpaid intern job style stuff at this point. You know? But anyways, all right.
Chat, the spam and egg fritter, it fucking owned. It's so good.
Just drink water. I'm doing that now. Well, I had 3 meals.
All right.
Do you want me to really be honest? because I will be.
Go.
But
Here we go.
So you guys thought his diet plan was good so far, right? Well, no, we forgot. We forgot one
I've
key
been
element.
taking notes.
Yeah.
I slimmed down a little bit myself. And
This is the special sauce. This is the special sauce you need. Okay, guys, here we go.
You're probably gonna slap me for this. All right, when I get home, everyone knows, and I've said this a million times, I'm an alcoholic. All right. If you want to drink, but you don't want to put on calories, all right, you go and you get a Coke Zero, or you get.
You didn't, yeah. You guys, all that diet he told you about, you forgot about the alcohol portion because we still got to drink.
Whatever 0 calories, whatever soft drink, and you mix it with whatever alcohol of choice. Right now, I do it with Coke Zero and I do it with Bacardi. And you drink, and guess what? Nothing happens. It does not add to your physique. So you can go home, you're starving, have a drink. You know, it's not going to.
Great advice, brother.
It does not add to your.
It does not add to your physique.
Okay, maybe it works for your body.
We should take a moment to appreciate that DSP told someone who's diabetic, hey, you need to drink alcohol more.
Yes,
and he's
the
saying
key
this
point.
while like just slurring his words, like
all the way
drunk off his
through?
ass too.
Yeah.
Drinking when I'm hungry does not satisfy the hunger for me.
Dude,
Well,
once you get used to it, honestly, once you get used to
Oh
it,
my
it will
God.
not, you won't be hungry anymore.
Phil
Jesus Christ.
obviously never heard the phrase "niggas gotta eat."
I used to be ravenous, dude. Every day I'd be like, dude, I gotta go to McDonald's. I gotta buy 3 double cheeseburgers. I used to spend
So he just 3 double cheeseburgers he just admitted to eating from time to time. Double cheeseburger, okay? 3 double cheeseburgers.
be ravenous, dude. Every day I'd be like, dude, I gotta go to McDonald's. I gotta buy 3 double cheeseburgers. I used to spend so much money on bullshit, you know? I don't do that anymore. I got out of that habit.
All right, so just for reference, guys, I'll show it to you. Double cheeseburger has 762 calories in it. Okay?
3. That's
So
almost
he
like
would
his
do 3
entire
of those.
calorie intake a day.
3, bros. 3. Can you imagine?
There was like a
And that's-
recent-ish DSP tries it where like he wasn't sure he was gonna like the burger, so he ordered another one because he wanted to make sure he had enough food, and he ate like the majority of the burger that he didn't like, and then ate the whole other burger, and then he was like, "Well, I didn't eat that much because it's crazy."
There's no way they go unfinished as well once that stream's off.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, no.
And if he's not finishing, we know somebody that is.
Yeah, Jasper.
It's very, very possible. You just have to get yourself into a serious habit where you're like, you know what, this is my
develop alcoholism.
Dude, I know that is so crazy. Get yourself into a serious habit of when first thing you do when you walk home and are hungry is to drink alcohol. Great habit, bro.
Yeah.
Right? Get on that grind set, you dumb fucks. Get on the grind.
If you're really, really hungry, you have a double Bacardi and Coke, and if you're just peckish, you have like one of the little shots.
Yeah.
You just have to
step it up.
Get yourself into a serious habit where you're like, you know what, this is my habit. I'm going to do it every single day, no matter what. And after a week, it's like, oh my God, my stomach. After 2 weeks, you're like, oh, my stomach still kills me. But after you get into it, you're like, okay.
Oh my God.
Your stomach probably kills you from the Bacardi that you're drinking all the time, my dude.
Straight alcohol into an empty stomach is not good for your stomach. I mean, that's just obvious. Everyone knows that. And he said, yeah, it does kill, but your stomach gets used to it.
Every single day.
That's that point. So
honestly, the only thing he's ever like put grind set into is alcoholism.
No. Alcoholism and being lazy. Like, he will work as hard as it takes to be lazy, if you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
So,
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, 100%.
You'll find that logging streak lasted for over 6 years.
It's like a lot of
That's
DSP
effort,
stuff, when people have their like Theo theories. And don't get me wrong, I love a good Theo theory, but it's like 95% of them you can break apart by just being like, DSP's too lazy to do that.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. And then the more obvious of a good idea it is he's trying to avoid, that's how that means like that's the multiplier in how long his explanation is, right? So like, for example, when everyone says like do direct capture, right? It's clearly better. Yeah. His excuses for that was like, all right, that he did like a 2-hour podcast about that. You know what I'm saying? Because I got to explain why I can't do it because it's such a good idea. But it means
and he also
work.
has to explain that like he wants the experience of you being next to him on the couch, like a real gamer.
Yeah, that's the cool part.
After a week, it's like, oh my god, my stomach. After 2 weeks, you're like, oh,
Later, teething
my
soldier.
stomach still kills me. But after you get into it, you're like, okay, this is my routine. I'm gonna stick to it.
Stick to it.
And after-
You think he's talking about like running or something, like man, my legs are hurting, but I gotta stick to this. I'm gonna get healthy. He's talking about
like-
drinking alcohol.
Yeah, it's like the runner's high of being a drunk.
But after you get into it, you're like, okay, this is my routine. I'm gonna stick to it. And after a while, you get used to it, and it doesn't bother you anymore.
Okay, now I'm going through the DTs. Good.
That works for you, but I've already done what you're doing, and it doesn't work for me.
Yes.
So I gotta look for another alternative.
I don't know, man. I'm trying to help you.
Bugcake's trying to explain very nicely that clearly drinking and eating whatever the fuck I want gave me this problem, so I can't do what you're telling me, dumb fuck.
That's my.
It's like,
Trying to help you drink yourself to death.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not gonna work for me.
Sounds to me like you need a personal trainer, someone who's going to be there to tell you, no, you can't eat this bullshit,
No, that's not it. No, I have no problem, controlling like my intake.
Well, that's
He just can't eat the thing.
I have some questions about
the
that.
things he likes anymore because he's worried
I heard something.
What was that calling?
I heard a little
That's someone trying
ding
to try
dong.
and call.
about his blood sugar.
Dude, I love fast food. I love double cheeseburgers.
Uh-oh.
I love the grease. I don't eat it anymore. I had to get used to
Anyone
it.
else hear boss music?
Yo, Phil,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up. Nobody gives a fuck. Oh, dude.
The best intro to a phone call ever.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Nobody gives a fuck.
Shut up, Jaha.
Oh, dude.
Shut the fuck up.
Nobody wants to look like you, dude. I mean, you're a fucking snitch. Everybody hates you.
You're a fucking snitch. Everybody hates you.
Who wants to look like a snitch?
Nobody
What the
fucking
fuck?
asking, dude. You're up ass, getting shot down left and right. Nobody wants to look like you. All right,
You know
so
what? You know
nobody
what?
asked about you stupid ass guy.
I'm trying to help Ben. You're not.
Nobody asked for your stupid ass diet.
Shove it up your fucking ass.
Dude.
How about
I don't
that?
give a fuck. And we don't give a fuck about you, motherfucker. Ain't nobody trying to look like you. Shit. Nobody gives a fuck. Right? I just
Trust me,
want to
no one
I-
wants to look like my
No.
face, but a lot of people want to lose weight right now. So
Okay, well, if they ask,
Nobody wants to look like my face.
then go ahead and let them know. But I don't hear anybody ask, man. You just fucking yapping, dog. It's
Yeah.
like killing my fucking high. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
that's the problem. That's the problem. We all know the feeling.
dude, if Ben didn't care, he would have shut me up a long time ago.
I'm shutting you up.
Trying to help.
I'm shutting
How many
you up.
times? How many times did Bunker go? Yeah, okay, that works for you, but it's not going to work for me.
Uh-huh.
That is him trying to shut you up.
Uh-huh.
Care, he would have shut
I would
me up
love
a
to
long
call
time
into
ago.
a level 1 podcast and be like, "Hey Phil,
Shut the fuck up. Killing my hair right now.
It's tearing me up, dude.
Dude, if Ben didn't care, he would have shut me up a long
He
time
tried.
ago.
I'm shutting you up.
Trying to help him. Oh, you're shutting.
I didn't hear Ben ask nothing. I didn't hear Ben ask nothing about it.
Man.
Yeah, that's why he's silent right now.
Right? That's what I'm saying, yo. Like, get off it, yo. Nobody gives a fuck. Good for you. You lost 40 pounds. All right.
Fine, I'm off
Ben's
it.
looking
Nobody
at
asked.
porn. You guys got it mixed up.
That's what I'm saying, yo. This motherfucker, man. Just shut up about that shit.
Forever hating. You've been hating on the fucking Irish.
hate it. It's not hating. It's like it's not hating. It's like, yo, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much attention do you want, dog? Before you fucking shut the fuck up.
Oh, how much
Feels like
attention
a-
do you want?
It feels like a unifying theme of tonight is DSP's
Yeah.
like constant need for attention.
Yes, yes.
Like, yo, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much attention do you want, dog? Before you fucking shut the fuck
Attention!
up.
I don't give a shit. I'm trying to help Ben. I told him I would talk to him after the radio show.
Help Ben. I'm gonna help Ben.
Yeah, blah, blah. Yeah, trying to
I want to be on the radio and hear myself talk. I want to hear myself talk, Ben.
I gotta buy Jaha. Fucking drink in Vegas.
Yeah, I don't really drink a lot, though, man.
That shit's too good.
Someone asked earlier if I drink. I don't really drink. I drink once in a blue moon.
Yeah, I don't drink that much myself, man.
All right, Ben. Let's
See, you two
clarify
lads,
this.
if you drank more, you'd lose a bit of weight.
Yeah, you got to make it a habit.
Jaha,
I don't care.
Just want to say,
if you don't like it, you got to make it a habit. Like even if it fucking sucks for 2 weeks, fight through that.
Yeah.
Keep drinking.
you got to push past that.
Yeah.
really think
You got to
that-
push back past your limits. You got to go serious, man.
Yeah. DSP quickly said, "Hey Ben, you there? Ben?
Yeah.
Ben?
I've got it.
Hello, Ben?
Please, someone
Ben?
back me up.
Super Saiyan Jin.
Ashton,
Ben?
Andy, are you there?
yeah, Ashton, are you there? Ben?
I don't drink that much myself, man.
All right, Ben. Let's clarify this.
Ben?
Do you really think that I would?
Hey, Ben, I lost 40 pounds, and this is what you got to do, man. And I lost...
Blah blah blah. Here we go again. It's the next Ski Sonic. Everyone, are you ready?
Oh, what? Ski Sonic, another person that owned him. Yep, can't answer Supersonic.
We're going to be hearing about Trim Spa or some shit, right?
Hey, all right, Ben. All right, I know you got a lot more questions, but let me get back on the topic, all right? 40 pounds...
That's the best. I know you got a lot of questions, but let me get back to the topic. The topic is explaining his diet.
Shit, right?
Hey, all right, Ben. All right, I know you got a lot more questions, but let me get back on the topic, all right? 40 pounds, man. You could do it. You could do it. Fuck out of here. Nobody's asking.
Man, I'm sorry. I really thought that you wanted help, and I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to give you advice. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, you know?
What I'm saying is it won't work for me because I'm already doing something similar, and it doesn't work for me. That's what I'm saying.
So DSP, shut the fuck up!
Yeah.
All right, you notice Ben's respectful, and you're not. That's the difference between you two.
Oh, Ben's respectful.
This is like classic too. Like when he's like like the kind of shit he pulls with LTG, you know, where he talks a bunch of shit and then LTG talks back and he goes, well, I'm just a little guy. I'm just a little content creator, and now they're trying to start drama.
I was trying to be respectful.
Between you two.
There's a difference.
Shut the fuck.
But anyway, I'm just going to continue looking at alternatives. You know, I've been on the American Diabetes for most of my break at lunch today.
Yeah.
A shake for breakfast.
That has diabetes too. So.
A shake for breakfast and a sensible dinner. That's fucking starving yourself.
If it makes you feel any better, Ben, my dad has diabetes too. So.
I mean, my uncle has it. My uncle is a physician. And in fact, I mean, I've been talking to him, and he's like, well, I mean, you're going to have to, you know, go on a really strict diet and so forth and so on. I'm like, well, and then I told him, like, I'm not going, I mean, I'm willing to go, but I'm not going to strict diet. I'm like, then I choose death then, motherfucker.
You know what? There's some conniving motherfuckers like DSP, you know, some American fucking scientists.
Oh, I'm conniving now.
Fucking, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Came up with diabetes and shit because it attacks fucking black diet.
Jaha goes a little off one-on-one here, guys.
I came up with diabetes.
People like you.
Bowflex. Buy a Bowflex, everyone.
Fucking evil white motherfuckers in the government and shit. You know, making some disease that attacks the black people's diet or some shit.
I hate white people too, so I'm there with you.
Yeah. Shut up. Round eye. Shut up. How can you see the ball with your big round eyes?
I have to check into it.
Oh, buddy!
I have insurance for my job right now because you have to be on the job, I think, 3 or 6 qualify for insurance, which I'm working on already.
Hold on,
It's
Ben.
probably 3 months.
Ben, you worked there way longer.
Shut the fuck up! God damn, dude. Let him.
No, it's been 6 months, but at the same time, though, I mean, after the 3 months, it's not like that a bill on my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, I get health insurance.
Shut the fuck up!
It's hard to get donors too, dude. My homie had to do a kidney transplant shit. It's hard to get donors.
Yeah.
No. He's talking about stomach.
You see how even Jaha, though, is just, you know, talking about his own experience, but telling you the facts of the matter, not telling Bunke what he should be fucking doing, though, you know? Anyways, it's a big difference of how they're handling this situation. You know, with talking to Bunke, I'm saying, right? It's like, hey, man, that's tough, man. I've been know that. My uncle did that too, man. It's rough. But DSP's like, oh, well, I already got over this. Let me tell you what you got to do, you know?
Yeah, because it makes you look like a prick, you know, even if like you are a healthy person and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know anything. I'm not a doctor. Like, I'm not going to step in and try to tell you like what you should be doing with your life. It's, you know, I think the best thing you can do as a friend is just like try to support them in some way or be like, oh man, just let me know if I can help you out or something. But like Phil has to be like, oh, I know everything and I know everything about everything. And here's what you got to do. Alcoholism. And then expects everybody to just like roll over and be like, oh, King, you're so right.
Yes,
oh, we
good
love
point,
everything
King.
you have to say.
It's also just like a basic empathy thing as well. Like Jaha's going, look, Ben, I know how it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough, man. That's all you got to say, man.
Some experience with it, so trying to empathize with you. Whereas Phil's like, no, this is how you call your problem. You just like live off junk food and booze. It's fine.
What's wrong with that? Come on, boys.
Get pneumonia as well.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Ben, you're gonna have to be there when I bench press this motherfucker's face on the floor. My bench press this nigga's face on the floor.
Hey, I don't mean to interrupt, but I have to ask for a second. Anybody know a good way to take scratches out of CDs without
shut up!
Some shit?
People
That's just not even really like guaranteed to work.
Does this doctor work? I heard a lot of people said it works, but I've never bothered with it.
EB uses it.
Fuck. The energy just sucked right out when DSP talks now. Yeah.
I've never bothered with it.
EB uses it.
Fuck, I can't even have fucking pizza. Fuck this fucking shit.
He says he can't have pizza.
You just have to give yourself like 1 day a week, Ben, where you eat what you want and
These
get it all
dumb
out your
fucks,
system,
man.
and then you'd be like, all right, Monday, give like Saturday or Friday night or whatever like that, eat what you want, and then the rest of the week you just have to say.
Terrible advice, but somehow better than Phil's.
Yes.
No, have it Friday night. Friday night, I'm gonna have pizza.
Hey, Ben, if you ever fucking turn that shit around, you know what I'm saying? A lot of that shit, whether it's fucking exercise or diet, it's like 80% mental, yo.
No, I don't have any problem with exercising. What I'm planning on doing is getting an iPod.
Yeah.
I live on a steep incline, so I'm gonna walk down that hill all the way down to the bottom and walk back up in the same space.
A call-in show,
I know
Waffle
that by
Bunny.
the time I get up that hill, I'm gonna be like wishing for death.
Yeah.
And then,
it's all
I
mental, though, man.
And then I'm gonna order some weights, when next time I get paid, and start doing some aerobics and stuff like that.
That one that adjusts and shit, you could probably do a lot of exercise with that, yo.
So again, trying to help.
Probably just get a bench.
Being supportive.
Like, a bench that adjusts all the way from like flat to a 45-degree angle.
Yep.
You could do a lot of stuff with it.
Actual good advice.
What
DSP?
the hell?
He shut up. DSP shut right up, didn't he?
Racial profile.
Somebody said it was. I think somebody thought that I was Kai before.
Oh. Racial profiling.
Nah, because Kai said something about the Eno glitch, and then I chimed in on all whole wheat bran, some shit. I don't know. I thought you could just eat Cheerios the way it's like Ben.
Hey, Ben.
I'm sure he knows a lot more about it than I do, or all of us, because he's in that situation.
I don't eat cereal. I'm half lactose intolerant, so I can't even.
You know who else is half lactose intolerant? Amberlyn Reed.
Hey! You know what that means?
You know what's
the
big girl.
What?
That means like I'm not going to have to eat healthy, but I also don't want to give up pizza. So
yes,
She's also half allergic to eggs.
Yeah. Half everything because you want to have something special and unique about them. You know what I mean? That's what I think. Big up, Deuce Falcons. I'm glad I tapped in tonight. Got the classic Jaha line. We're still in the middle of it.
That I heard from. It's not a reliable source, but it's something that I tend to believe is like after we turn like 22, 23 and our bodies stop growing, like all of us become somewhat lactose intolerant because our bodies don't need milk and a lot of people.
I'm not listening to this guy anymore.
I used to love cereal.
Still need calcium.
I'm not listening to that douchebag anymore.
And I used to love cereal too, but I can't do it anymore, man. I'm tired of shitting.
I just put a little bit in it now.
I'm tired of shitting.
So it's eatable. Fill it up. You gotta go take a shit, whatever. Clean your system out.
I mean, couldn't that be like the booze, though, Phil?
Yes, it could.
Yeah. They call it the whiskey shits for a reason,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hello?
There's apparently 6 people on Skype right now, and nobody's talking.
I'm trying to get my magic to play fucking accent core, but...
Well, I was just...
Why is Jaha the most insightful person ever? Like,
Insightful?
He tries to study shit.
I don't talk about myself for fucking 3 hours. Fucking, people really don't give a fuck.
Dude, everyone you talk to, you try to start. What the hell, man?
No, I don't. You can ask all my friends, dude. I'm mad cool to them, dude.
They're all your friends.
Yeah, ask any of them, dude.
All 3 of them in California.
I have
3 more
friends
than
on
you
fucking
have.
East Coast, too.
Yeah.
So why are you trying to start shit with me, man? What the hell?
Man, how many times you want me to tell you, yo, before I fucking bench press your face in the floor?
Here we go.
300 pounds, fucking bust your ass.
What does that mean?
All right.
What does that mean?
This is Sparta.
What does that mean?
300 pounds, fucking bust your ass.
What does that mean?
All right. I'm
Nah,
back,
dude.
and I'm about to taste
You can
this.
figure it out.
The milk
Yeah.
looks weird.
Feel it, son.
I'll try to figure
God
out
bless you,
300
okay.
pounds. I'll try. I don't know how that applies to anything, but
All right,
okay.
this is my first.
Okay.
You said the milk sounds dark. It sounds like really shitty soy milk.
Maybe he's fucking got like some Count
The
Chocula.
milk's gone bad.
Okay.
Ben, are you still alive?
I can't. On the bottom it says recommended for diabetics.
Oh, God. Alright, what kind of milk did you drink with it?
I think he said skim milk he's got.
There's no shade of white that is dark. I'm sorry.
Yo, Ben. Did the doc tell you about fucking, avoiding stress and shit like that, too? You know that shit affects it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It can raise your blood sugar up.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You gotta fucking try to keep it cool and shit, relax, whatever.
Yeah, you better
Now
quit your
put
job
yourself
and
in-
hide under your covers.
No, motherfucker, ain't no joke, bitch. You fucking
Don't call me a
stupid or
bitch. Shut
something,
up.
Oh, he said you fucking stupid or something.
bitch? You fucking
Don't call me a
stupid or
bitch. Shut
something,
up. Shut the fuck up.
E-fight. Let's do it.
DSP don't wanna, dude.
Yeah, huh?
Oh, I'll leave him alone.
Ooh.
I'll just wait till I see him.
Yeah, wait till you see
The
me.
sliding doors moment
Yeah.
right there.
Because I can't do shit to you now, so why get pissed off about it?
Ooh.
Alright, whatever you want. But anyway, we're talking about Ben, not about us, okay?
No, you're talking about you, motherfucker.
Wait, why did?
Let's talk about Ben who
Yeah.
hosts the radio.
Yeah, go ahead, Talby.
I was just saying, it's like he's like, well, we're talking about Ben, we're not talking about us. Well, the only reason it came back to me was you had to take that shitty little shot at Jaha. And
Yeah. So
then he
Let's not
got back. Yeah.
and then
talk
he got
about
back
the
at you.
bullshit.
So wait a minute.
Oh my god! Motherfuck.
What happened? Oh.
But I walk into rooms and I get like the top score, dude. Fucking nasty.
Well, I got a question, man. Does this affect your plans of coming out to Evo?
Ooh.
Evo.
You talking DSP?
I'll add it to the list.
And he's talking to Ben.
Ben's still gonna go to Evo, man.
There's healthy
Well,
food.
my boss is getting married, so I may not be able to go now.
You're fucking joking, right?
No.
Nah, dude, just tell him. Be like, yo, I got plans. Sorry, this came up 3 months ago.
Like, you know what? I'm gonna save you some money and I'm gonna free up my seat.
Tell your boss to have the marriage in Vegas.
Yeah, right. There you go.
He's
And Ben always get fucked
Ben
over
under
there.
the blankets, dude. Fucking make a dummy of yourself and just leave it at work. There's no boss there anyway. Put a tape recorder there of things you say at work.
I finished eating the cereal. Let me say that was some nasty shit. I'm not gonna go to Evo this year.
I'm going past here.
You know, my last day be on the Thursday before Evolution. Yeah, most people should be familiar with that. $1 million, I would eat every whole rate grain in that same
Going forward a little bit here. I
sweet per
think that's
se,
it,
like,
really,
going
but I
deep
want to make
sleep.
sure.
I like dream for like 10 minutes and then I got
Delicious.
Wait.
with a little bit of soy sauce with a
I
daffodil
think that
on
is
the
it.
side. Along with my spinach drink.
Delicious.
Nailed it.
Sauce is salty though.
Oh,
Into your
God.
schedule, I think it'll be.
I'm working that into
Here
my
we go, here we
schedule.
go.
All right. Well, once you work that into your schedule, I think you'll be a lot better off. I do.
Well, obviously,
what?
I mean that's not really up for debate. I mean,
Great
no one's
point,
gonna say
Philip.
the exercise is
Great
bad,
point, man.
You know, I'm I'm looking up this list. Great, I can eat.
It's the same thing, dude. I'm sorry, but and I'm going to be really honest with you.
Oh, God. Yes, please.
I know a bunch of people who are considered overweight, and every single one of their doctors says, "Oh, guess what? You have type 2 diabetes." It's bullshit. This is the new excuse for a doctor to say you need to lose weight.
No,
It really is.
no.
Yeah,
No.
second time he said this, by the way.
It's the new height.
No.
Oh,
So
you have type 2
stupid.
diabetes.
Yes. New
You
height.
need to lose weight, and
I
everyone.
can't listen to this motherfucker no more, yo, Ben.
Did he just say?
Ah,
did he just say that you have two types?
Oh wait,
and
I
everyone
can't listen to this motherfucker.
height.
No.
Oh, you have type 2 diabetes. You need to
No.
lose weight, and
I
everyone.
can't listen to this motherfucker no more, yo, Ben. Oh, Ben.
Blah blah blah. Okay.
Yeah, you know it's good when your only defense is blah blah blah.
Yeah.
You're really doing a great job, man.
He just tries to talk. Talk over people. It's like
Uh-huh.
the same shit he does to his chat nowadays, and just tries to over exaggerate, drown him out, ban him.
Same thing with Steve Cambion. He did that as well. Yeah,
Yep.
Ski Sonic as well. Yeah, and he did it with the job with the
Traumatized him.
Steve's Cambion. Everybody hear that again? Like he'll say, "Oh, yeah, okay, right, yeah," like that.
Either does
Waffle-
that or he does the nodding. Just sitting there nodding.
Yeah,
Like,
just sitting there nodding.
just trying to get through it.
Waffle Bunny says, "Here's to the weekend. Big ups to you, Waffle Bunny. Hope you're enjoying the Saturday here."
Get yourself a Bacardi.
Maybe you missed the part where I said I had to go pee like 15 times a night.
Jaha has left.
Yeah, and so did I.
And I'm always thirsty and always hungry.
And so am I, or so was I.
Yeah.
Oh,
and the reason
he
because of that is
changed.
because I have too much sugar in my blood.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if I don't get that down, then it's going to be bad news.
Right. That's a symptom of being overweight. It's been a symptom forever, but now they have a new fancy term for it called type 2 diabetes.
In the last week and a
Type
half.
2 diabetes.
New term.
God.
It's a new
He's
term
so
for being fat,
stupid.
guys.
Huh?
Before that, I never had a
Cool.
problem.
I'm being honest with you, man. I'm not trying to be, put bullshit in your head. I'm telling you.
Well, I mean,
I was through the same shit, and I know people right now who are going through the same shit. This is the new, you need to lose weight. You have type 2 diabetes.
Now
Everyone
Jaha's
has
gone,
the same
so he feels
symptoms.
free.
It's just a new excuse for it,
nah, I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that. Is right.
Yeah.
Right now, dude, I still have fucking problems. Every day I shit like 3 or 4 times.
Bro. And you don't think like your diet might have something to do with that?
3 or 4 times?
Dude, I still have fucking problems. Every day I shit like 3 or 4 times. You know?
You don't want to know
Sorry,
that.
God.
I do. Well, I know you didn't want to know, but I do. I still have bowel problems. It's not going to heal
Well,
itself.
bowel problems is not actually one of the symptoms. The
What
symptoms
the
is actually just
fuck?
Yeah.
urinating on a constant basis.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when I
God.
Actually, just
It's like
urinating.
I mean,
Yeah, he's 25
Sometimes I
at this
think that
point,
it's-
yes.
sometimes I think it's like impressive that because usually gout is something that you get when you're like really old, and he got it in his like early 30s.
Well,
When
you see
hear
why.
him recount this, like
Yeah.
he's speed run to gout. He was on the road to gout. Just
Yeah, everyday sausage biscuit, and at times he said 3 double cheeseburgers at a single sitting. I mean, how much can your body take? You know what I mean? That's a fucking
I'm surprised
lot.
that he only has gout.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, use here. He would never say it before, but he's shitting 3 or 4 times a day. Who knows what that is? I don't even,
Yeah.
who knows what that is?
just on a constant basis.
Yeah. And when I say bowel problems,
And
what
don't forget about the essential meats, guys. You forgot about that?
do you think? It's not
Those are essential.
crucial meats.
Crucial, not essential. Yeah, crucial
crazy.
meats.
It's
You're talking about bowel. I'm talking about bladder.
Yeah.
all right.
It's all the same to him.
You got to pee a lot, and then you got to shit a lot. There's a lot of stuff
No.
to it.
What?
No, Phil. No.
Those are very
You don't have to
different.
believe me if you don't want, but I'm just
No,
trying
we
to-
won't. We will not. We won't.
Man.
As a matter of fact, we won't believe you today.
Okay. Thanks for everybody for coming on to the show. You guys have a good night.
There we go. That was it. Legendary call. I'm definitely glad we listened to that again with all this health side Phil cut nonsense because you could hear what he's really like. But anyways, Talby, you're a king for joining us today, sharing your knowledge from the past. We'll definitely get you back on again, sir, if you're down for it, Talby.
Had a lot of fun. Thanks, guys.
You're a legend. Steve, everyone will see you tomorrow. And that being said, in about 12 and a half hours.
12 hours,
But,
yeah.
Any final move here? Any final words for everybody?
I'll just see you in a bit, lads. I'm
Yep.
going to go and
Yes, he's got to go to sleep. Let him go. Anyways, everyone that listened today, you are fucking legends, and we'll see you tomorrow. I will do a That Being Said show on WPIG, so 5 hours of the hits tomorrow. You're all legends. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Yo, Phil.
Yeah.
Shut the